volta com a NBA Action. E vamos agora à sexta partida das finais. A equipe do Houston Rockets era a favorita no início dos playoffs. Entretanto, a história estava diferente. Agora era o New York Knicks que tinha a vantagem por 3-2. Portanto, o Houston Rockets precisava de qualquer forma ganhar a sexta partida. O Rockets precisava sair na frente, mas quem sai na frente é a equipe do New York Knicks, que está de camisa azul. Na NBA, a equipe da casa sempre joga de uniforme branco. Agora sim, o Rockets começa a reagir. Carl Herrera, aí aparece ele, o número 7, saiu do banco para uma grande atuação. Foi o homem que levou o Rockets à reação. Mais uma vez, Carl Herrera subindo para a enterrada. 37-39 no momento. 37-29, aliás, era a contagem nesse instante. Vernon Maxwell, uma cesta de 3 pontos. Jogadores do Houston Rockets conversam no vestiário. E o Rockets, no segundo tempo, parecia estar com uma liderança tranquila. Entretanto, mais uma vez, quem aparece destacando pelo New York Knicks é ele, o armador John Starks. E, de repente, a vantagem do Houston Rockets é de apenas 2 pontos. O Houston Rockets, porém, vai conseguir uma cesta importantíssima através de Kenny Smith. Ele que não vinha produzindo bem nos playoffs. Faltando 5 segundos para a partida, John Starks vai ter uma última oportunidade para uma cesta de 3 pontos, mas Akin Olajuwon desvia a bola e a vitória é do Houston Rockets. John Starks não consegue aproveitar a cesta de 3 pontos, que daria o título ali, naquele momento, à equipe do New York Knicks. Pat Riley dizendo, eles ganharam, agora nós temos uma tarefa muito difícil. Nós temos que ganhar a partida final na casa do adversário. E já houve uma equipe que conseguiu fazer isto. Vocês sabem que equipe foi esta? Vamos responder em seguida.
I love it, I love it, I love this game. I love it, I really love this game. I love it, I love it, I love this game. I love it, I really love this game. Well, there ain't never been a game like this, cause basketball's a sport that you just can't miss. Every day you meet people who play on blacktops and beaches and on their driveways. You see them playing ball in the park, or see a kid shooting around till it's dark. All over the world it just seems the same. I mean it's basketball, I really love this game. I really love this game. I love it, you love it, we love this game, the NBA. I really love this game. It's the NBA, you won't believe this. We got dunks and got players who don't miss, and you gotta be smooth when you take it in the lane. It's the NBA, I really love this game. It's the NBA.
Here's home and putting it home.
Cause in the NBA it's crazy. We got guys with moves that amaze me. It's fantastic and crowds go insane. It's the NBA, I really love this game. I really love this game.
Para scores e notícias esportivas de última hora, ligue para a ESPN Worldwide Sports Update Line, disque o código internacional e 852-172-78400. Informações em inglês sobre eventos esportivos mundiais. Para os últimos scores e notícias esportivas, ligue de qualquer país. A ESPN Worldwide Sports Update Line. 24 horas por dia, 852-172-78400. Os playoffs de 94 têm sido a realização de um sonho para o Houston Rockets e para o New York Knicks. Mas apenas um acordará como campeão da NBA. Não perca o melhor do basquete, as finais da NBA, só na ESPN.
Bem-vindos outra vez à NBA Action. E vamos à resposta. A equipe foi o Washington Bullets. Foi no ano de 1979, em Seattle, contra a equipe do Seattle Supersonics. O Seattle Supersonics perdeu, embora jogasse em casa. Vamos agora falar do homem que leva a equipe do Houston Rockets para a decisão. Ele é o técnico Rudy Tomjanovich. E seus jogadores, como Robert Horry, dizem que ele é um técnico que entende os jogadores, porque também foi um jogador no passado. Orey Thorpe diz que ele sabe muito bem o que vai pela cabeça do jogador nos momentos decisivos de uma partida. Aí está Rudy Tomjanovich conversando com a sua equipe. E Sam Cassell diz que Rudy Tomjanovich é um homem que gosta das coisas simples e diretas. Em 2 temporadas, Rudy Tomjanovich levou a equipe do Houston Rockets até as finais. Uma equipe que vinha pelas últimas colocações. E ele adota um princípio fundamental como treinador. Ele diz que o seu princípio é fazer com que os jogadores sintam-se à vontade para renderem o máximo. Esta é a principal tarefa de um treinador. Ele entende o que um jogador está pensando, o que vai pela sua cabeça em uma partida decisiva. E ele procura ser o mais honesto possível. Às vezes ele sabe que ele vai ferir sentimentos dos jogadores, suscetibilidades, mas ele diz, eles compreendem porque eles sabem que eu estou sendo honesto. Ele diz, eu adapto a minha filosofia de jogo aos jogadores que eu tenho na equipe. Eu armo o esquema de acordo com os jogadores e não ao contrário. Ele diz, eu não posso mudar o estilo de um jogador, eu posso fazer este jogador ficar melhor trabalhando com ele. Ele diz, por isso o treino é uma coisa importantíssima. E quando você tem uma equipe com jogadores que não gostam de treinar, não é possível você levar esta equipe a uma decisão de campeonato. Ele é ligado à equipe do Houston Rockets há 24 anos, desde 1970. Primeiro como jogador, depois passou a ser olheiro, depois passou a ser assistente técnico, agora é o técnico principal. E ele diz, eu faria tudo o que fosse preciso e necessário pela equipe do Houston Rockets. Eu estou ligado a esta equipe. É muito raro você, no basquete profissional, ter uma pessoa que faça a carreira toda em uma única equipe, mas eu fiz a minha carreira aqui e eu me sinto em casa. E ele diz, estamos a 4 passos do topo da montanha. Não é hora de desistir. Agora vamos às notícias da semana. Houve uma troca muito importante. John Lucas, que era técnico do San Antonio Spurs, passou agora para o Philadelphia 76ers. Ele vai ser o vice-presidente de operações de basquete, gerente geral e, além de tudo, o técnico. E a equipe do Boston Celtics, que teve uma péssima temporada, contratou MLK, um antigo jogador, para ser vice-presidente executivo. E MLK, que aparece ali primeiro como jogador e agora como dirigente, dizendo que ele exige de cada jogador que dê tudo em campo, que sue realmente a camisa. Bobby Hurley, que sofreu um sério desastre de automóvel no início do ano e joga pelo Sacramento Kings como o armador principal, retornou finalmente aos treinos. Ele diz, passei 6 meses afastado e eu tenho muito que reaprender, mas estou interessado em treinar o mais duro que eu puder. Voltamos em seguida.
My choice wasn't that difficult. This place saved me.
I'm really impressed by Craig. He
He had a chance to go to law school. He gave up that opportunity and came back to the Chinkapin School to teach these kids. And thanks to the Houston Open, kids from low-income families can get an education. The Houston Open's been involved with the Chinkapin School here since 1980, and they really need the support of the Houston Open. Who knows? Maybe there's another teacher around here. Anything's possible.
Depois de uma temporada exaustiva e playoffs dramáticos, o Houston Rockers e o New York Knicks estão quase no final das suas batalhas. A pergunta é, será Patrick Ewing ou Hakeem Olajuwon que liderará o seu time à glória do campeonato? Descubra quem vai levar a melhor. Veja as finais da NBA de 94 só na ESPN.
Bem-vindos outra vez à NBA Action. Agora vamos mostrar a vocês um dos técnicos do basquetebol dos Estados Unidos, Darryl Garretson, que recentemente encerrou sua carreira. Aí aparece ele com Michael Jordan. Darryl Garretson é uma personalidade realmente pitoresca, uma espécie de um Mário Viana do basquete dos Estados Unidos. E ele diz: na minha carreira eu diverti-me bastante. Eu sou uma pessoa que gosta de conversar com todo mundo, inclusive os jogadores. E ele diz, se algum jogador quer se queixar a mim, ou mesmo um técnico durante a partida, eu topo. Eu vou lá e digo, quer fazer uma aposta? Vamos assistir depois o tape e quem ganhar vai ganhar um jantar de graça. O outro vai pagar. Aí está ele dizendo, olha, vamos apostar o jantar, como eu estou com a razão, é só depois assistir o tape da partida. E acaba rindo. E ele diz, eu não estou lá para agradar a imprensa, não estou lá para agradar a torcida. Eu estou lá para fazer o jogador compreender que eu estou apitando da maneira mais honesta possível. Por isso eles gostam de mim. Vocês viram ali Charles Oakley também brincando com o nosso antigo juiz Darryl Garretson. E logo o Charles Barkley, melhor dizendo, Charles Barkley, que é um homem feroz de fazer poucos amigos quando está numa quadra de basquete. Agora é a discussão dele com o Pat Riley quanto à defesa ilegal. E ele diz para os técnicos e os assistentes, olha, vocês fiquem quietos aí. E ele diz, antigamente os jogadores eram mais desaforados. Hoje eles são mais educados e, além disso, eles compreendem melhor as regras. Quando um jogador diz alguma coisa para mim, ou dizia até eu encerrar a minha carreira, eu aceitava, eu ponderava com ele, porque eu sabia que estava falando com jogadores inteligentes, que são jogadores desta nova geração. E ele diz agora para Horace Grant, olha, não começa a criar caso não. E ele diz agora, Darryl Garretson, que gostaria de ser lembrado como um juiz que deu sempre o melhor de si. E ele diz, quem pode acreditar que eu tenho 62 anos de idade? Vejam o meu corpo. Aí, Darryl Garretson, quando era mais novo, e agora, prestes algumas semanas antes do encerramento de sua carreira. Agora ele já está aposentado e guarda apenas lindas lembranças do passado. E ele diz, meu trabalho não foi excepcional. Bom, em seguida vamos falar do Campeonato Mundial de Basquete que vai acontecer no mês de agosto em Toronto, no Canadá. E vamos ter também as melhores enterradas do ano. Fiquem ligados que tudo isto virá pela frente. Agora temos aí Mark Price. É um dos jogadores que estarão em ação no Campeonato Mundial de Basquete. Outro que estará em ação, Dan Marley. Este é o Dream Team 2, a nova seleção americana para o Mundial de Basquete. Derek Coleman, Brad Miller, do Pacers. Shaquille O'Neal, o homem do Shaq Attack, do Orlando Magic. Sean Kemp, do Seattle Supersonics, estará também na seleção americana no Mundial de Toronto. Kevin Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, todos esses são jogadores que estão convocados para a seleção dos Estados Unidos, que disputará o Campeonato Mundial de Basquete em Toronto no mês de agosto. Repetindo o sucesso do Dream Team nas Olimpíadas de Barcelona. Em seguida falaremos das enterradas do ano. Fiquem ligados.
Talvez você esteja procurando dentro de uma seleção ilimitada ou tentando encontrar algo que seja único em seu estilo. O último em tecnologia ou aquele corte perfeito. Qualquer que seja o seu lugar favorito para fazer compras, na hora de pagar, use o cartão preferido pela maioria das pessoas no mundo. Visa é o cartão.
First time we met, I thought he's cute. I'd see him on campus and we'd talk. Then he asked me to this party on Saturday. It was a good party. But after he'd been drinking a while, he was out of control. And people are looking at me like, you're with this guy? I had someone else drive me home.
Do you want me to shoot it? No. Do you want me to pass it? No. Do you want me to slam? Yeah. Get out the way, get out the way. Do you want me to shoot it? No. Do you want me to pass it? No. Do you want me to slam? Yeah. See ya.
A nossa série de enterradas começa e a primeira é... Atenção, muito suspenso no nosso courtside countdown, a contagem decrescente. É de Shaquille O'Neal, o homem do Orlando Magic. E agora, como a enterrada de número 9, Latrell Sprewell. E conseguiu contra o Houston Rockets. E agora vejam aí, um lobo esfaimado. Como enterrada de número 7, temos James Robinson, um calouro de destaque. Como número 6, Robert Pack, subindo com autoridade. Aí vai ele. Como enterrada de número 5, Kenny Williams. E em cima de Patrick Ewing, um pivô de 2,14 metros de altura, hein? Mas enterrada tem que ser sempre com Sean Kemp. Ele não pode ficar fora de uma lista das 10 melhores. Sean Kemp, do Seattle Supersonics. E Chris Webber também tem que comparecer com uma fantástica enterrada. Agora a segunda melhor enterrada do ano, Scottie Pippen, do Chicago Bulls. O Knicks eliminou o Chicago Bulls, mas Scottie Pippen brilhou. Vejam a repetição. Vamos agora à enterrada de número 1, Kevin Johnson. Em cima do Houston Rockets. Eu sou José Inácio Werneck, da ESPN Internacional, TVA e Esportes.
You've watched the NBA on ESPN all season long. Tonight, we'll crown a champion. Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Game 7. 2 words filled with anticipation and a history of drama. And now this season comes down to that one game, Game 7. Two teams, two leaders, two of the best the game has known. And now, one game remains. One game, one winner, one NBA champion. Game 7, next.
This is the NBA on NBC. The 1994 NBA Finals. Tonight, Game 7 between the New York Knicks and the Houston Rockets.
Sometimes the waiting is the most difficult part, excruciatingly difficult. About 72 hours since Hakeem Olajuwon and the Rockets knew they had survived to play a Game 7, the most important of their professional basketball lives. Maybe even more difficult for Patrick Ewing and the Knicks, save for the practices and the meetings, idling the time away in a hotel, inside the Rocket locker room. And on the other side, Charles Oakley, as is his custom, trying to chill, listening to the tunes, about 10 minutes from the tip-off.
And 48 minutes of tough defense. Leave it out on the floor tonight. Leave it out there tonight. Everything out there on the floor, baby. 1, 2, 3.
Rockets, yeah, baby, let's go, let's go.
Everybody, I'm Bob Costas. Welcome to Game 7. The pursuit of this trophy began when they reported to training camp in early autumn. Now they have played through winter and spring, and on this, the first full day of summer, the Houston Rockets and New York Knicks will determine this basketball season's NBA champion. It has been said repeatedly and with validity that the Knicks-Rockets series lacks the artistry we have come to expect from the NBA Finals. But what has become clear is that this series now has a dramatic character of its own. The Knicks and Rockets bring to this arena, this one last time, league-leading supplies of passion and resolve. And while this year's champion may not rank with the Celtics, Lakers, Pistons, or Bulls of the recent past, New York and Houston are so evenly matched that Game 7 was almost inevitable. And it also seems almost inevitable it will be in doubt in the last few minutes, just as the first 6 have been. Now for some background. Houston fans probably prefer league history to local history. On the league side, no road team has won the 7th game of an NBA playoff series in any round since 1982. That's 19 straight for the home team. But on the local side, no Houston team has ever won a championship in a league that still exists. The Oilers won the first 2 titles in the old AFL. The Hockey Arrows won in the WHA. But other than that, it's been a litany of near misses for the Oilers, the Astros, the Rockets, even Hakeem Olajuwon's University of Houston Cougars. Titletown, USA, this is not. The Rockets are slight favorites to change that tonight. As for the Knicks, if they're to do it, why shouldn't it be the hard way? After all, this is their 25th playoff game, the most any team has ever endured, and their 3rd consecutive Game 7 of this postseason. They found a way against the Bulls and the Pacers, both times at Madison Square Garden. To win this Game 7 here at the Summit in the finals would be in every sense a crowning achievement. And speaking of royalty, here now is the king of NBA play-by-play man, Marv Albert. I almost forgot his name. If he's the king, how could I forget his name? Let's go to him for the call. Marvelous.
All right, Bob, and that is very kind. I'm alongside Magic Dukas, who is part of the royalty, it should be pointed out. Now, for Patrick Ewing and Hakeem Olajuwon, for only the 2nd time in their career, it has come down to 1 game, winner take all. It was back in 1984 at the Kingdome in Seattle, Washington, in the NCAA championship game. Ewing against Olajuwon. Georgetown versus the University of Houston, and the Hoyas of Georgetown defeated the Cougars of Houston 84-75. The following year, in 1985, Patrick Ewing was the #1 pick in the draft, and the feeling was he would eventually lead the Knicks to a championship. It has not been an easy task, and the window of opportunity may be running out. The same can be said for Hakeem Olajuwon. This is his 10th year in the NBA. He had 2 cracks at a collegiate national crowd, and he's still seeking a first NBA title. So, Matt, for both, it has come down to this tonight.
Well, these two have been the center of attention throughout this series, and both players have had some special moments. Even though Patrick Ewing's scoring and shooting percentage are down from his normal 24 points a game and 50% from the field, his defense, rebounding, and shot blocking have been instrumental in getting the Knicks to this 7th game. But his outside shot has been too frequent and inconsistent, and if it is not on tonight, he must get to the basket for better percentage shots. Now, Hakeem Olajuwon's numbers have remained consistently outstanding against the best defense in the league, and a big key for him has been when he makes that quick, decisive move before the Knicks team defense can react. It's almost unstoppable. And even though Hakeem has not been dominant on the defensive board, his effort, ability, and shot blocking show why he is the defensive player of the year. And for these two to help their teams tonight, Patrick Ewing has to shoot the basketball better, and Hakeem Olajuwon has to rebound more.
And for Pat Riley, it is a chance to coach a championship team for a 5th time during the course of his career. For Rudy Tomjanovich, it is a shot at a first NBA title. How have the 2 coaches handled it? What did they say to their teams before they hit the floor for the pregame warm-ups?
Go for it. Got to come and go for it, especially on the road. You know, you cannot show any hesitation, any tentativeness at all. And, you know, the game plan is intact, although it's important to be really obedient and disciplined to what you're trying to do and not get caught up in the emotion of trying to win and think about all of the residual rewards you might get if you win. I mean, you got to focus in for 48 minutes and get that out of the way, and then let the result take care of itself, and not think about anything else other than playing the game and playing it tough.
I do want it for them. They deserve it, and let's go out and do it. I really do believe that I don't have to say a word, that they understand, and the difference in this game, winning or losing, will not be on what I say in that locker room before the game.
At this time, there are no magic words that a coach needs to say. It comes down to this: 9 months of preparation for one game. And Marv, there are really only 3 things that each team can control tonight. And that's how hard they play, how smart they play, and how much they play together.
So on the second day of summer, there is still basketball to be played for the Rockets. It is their 105th game of the season. For the next game, number 107, the winner will be crowned the NBA champion.
Talvez seja devido à sua ampla aceitação e acesso a dinheiro a nível mundial, ou devido ao conveniente serviço telefônico Visa Phone. Pode ser que seja devido ao seguro grátis de automóveis alugados, ou pela tranquilidade que o seguro de acidentes de viagem lhe proporciona. As razões são muitas. Por isso, na hora de pagar, use o cartão preferido pela maioria das pessoas no mundo. Visa é o cartão.
Con el color que a ti te gusta. Nueva película Kodak Gold Plus. Es el color de tu momento.
Kodak. Este programa da ESPN é uma cortesia da Budweiser, a cerveja oficial da Copa do Mundo. E da Visa, onde quer que você vá, seu cartão deve ser Visa.
Gentlemen, and welcome to the summit for Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Now, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, for the Eastern Conference champions, the New York Knicks. At guard, 6'4" from Illinois, number 11, Derek Harper. The other guard is 6'5" from Oklahoma State, number 3, John Starks. And one forward, 6'9" from Virginia Union, number 34, Charles Oakley. The
Rockets. Let's check in now with Ahmad Rashad and Hannah Storm. First, we go to Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Marv. The atmosphere in the Knicks locker room was very loose close to game time, but that was not the case during the course of the afternoon. Almost each Knick to a man told me that this was the longest day of their entire life. Derek Harper told me he normally takes a nap before a game, but today he laid in the bed, looked at the clock, and thought about tonight being his biggest athletic moment of his career. Now, in terms of attitude, Charles Oakley told me that they're very positive. He said the longer they play, the stronger they get. They will not play any longer, and momentarily we'll find out just how strong they've become. Now, for more on the Houston Rockets, let's go down to Hannah Storm.
Thanks, Ahmad. We should mention the Rockets small forward Robert Horry has been battling injuries this entire series, is suffering from a terrible head cold. He's been sick for the last 3 days and does not come into this game at 100%. As for the attitude of the team, it's very positive after a players-only meeting today in which everybody spoke up. Hakeem talked about playing together as a team. Otis Thorpe talked about the importance of getting off to a good start, especially in the first 6 minutes. And Vernon Maxwell says he'll do his part to make sure that happens. He plans to come out more aggressively on offense as he did during the Game 3 victory in New York. Mark?
Thank you, Hannah. The officials, Hugh Evans, Ed G. Rush, Joe Crawford, all veterans of NBA Finals games.
Well, so many people from the Rockets family and the New York Knicks wanted us to pass along our hellos and good wishes to Earl Strom back in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. So from everybody at the NBA and NBC, we say hello to Earl and take care.
Only the third time the past 16 years the NBA Finals have gone to a Game 7. It will be Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing on the opening tip. Game 6 here Sunday at the Summit. Rockets with the 86-84 victory to even the series at 3. Rockets control it. Here's Maxwell off the dribble. Setting up Horry. Olajuwon. Back to Horry. Robert Horry, after taking that spill in game number 5 in New York, has not shot well, but he gets off to the roaring start. And the Rockets with a 2-0 lead. Shot clock down to 6. Harper. Derek Harper able to penetrate to tie the game at 2.
Well, both teams coming out with the idea of penetrate and get to the basket. Let's not rely on jump shots early. Let's challenge the defense.
Again, Kenny Smith looking to avoid the hand check of Derek Harper, who is a master at that. Vernon Maxwell, played by John Starks. Hakeem Olajuwon pumps it back out. Here is Smith. Well, Rudy Tomjanovich feels that Kenny Smith is playing with more confidence off that one shot. The three-pointer he hit in the final 3 minutes of the game here on Sunday. Open shot for Charles Oakley. And Hakeem Olajuwon with the rebound. Rockets 4 and the Knicks 2 were just underway. Maxwell drawing the double team. Now Thorpe pops it cross court. Broken up by Oakley with 12 on the 24.
Well, here goes Hakeem Olajuwon up in the air, and he really makes his mind up at the absolute last split second on the drop-off to Robert Horry for the strong finish.
A minute and a half gone by. Down to 5 on the 24. Horry. And the ball goes to the Knicks as it popped over the top of the backboard.
Well, sometimes the home team in this situation comes out so fired up, so emotional, so much adrenaline pumping. They jump on the other team early and then hit a wall. Both coaches are aware of that, and of course Rudy wants to keep a close eye on it. Riley doesn't want it to happen.
Off the steal, Smith ahead of the field. And yes, the Rockets are fired up.
One of the rare, easy baskets for the Rockets from their defense, and they have the quickness to do it.
Rockets with a 6-2 lead. John Starks, who comes off the brilliant finish in Game 6, and he draws the foul. Starks will go to the line.
Charles Smith on that little drop-off, stolen nicely by Robert Horry, and Kenny Smith, instead of waiting around, which is what the Rockets point guards have done most of this series, just stand and wait in the backcourt. Now they're reacting quickly and taking off to get some of those easy hoops.
So Thorpe called for his first. John Starks with a sparkling performance with 16 of his 27 in the fourth quarter. On Sunday night, John Starks making it back from the arthroscopic knee surgery. Started slowly over the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, but has come on strong here in the finals. This after a 3 for 18 shooting game in game number 1. But since then, he has played in sensational fashion. Rockets 6 and the Knicks 4. And there is the foul on Harper for the hard handshake.
And it was almost like Derek Harper was going to see what he could get away with, and Joe Crawford all over it, calling what he felt was a hard hand check. A lot of people would like to see that part of defense taken out in the future of the NBA.
Well, the feeling is the rules will be adjusted come next season because there are several masters at that, and Derek right at the top of the list. It's hard to tell how much resistance he is showing with that hand check. Oakley, and the Rockets continue to give Oakley open shots. Olajuwon, too deep. Maxwell for 3. Yeah. Rockets 9, the Knicks 4.
And already Akeem Olajuwon with 2 assists in this ballgame on very acrobatic type passes, but he has his vision all over the floor right now.
Charles Smith hitting on his first field goal. And the Rockets now lead 9-6. Vernon Maxwell, like Kenny Smith, has not been able to break out. Only 4 of 13 from the field the other night. Hit that 3 just a moment ago. 3.5 gone by. Rockets by 3. Maxwell, yes. Houston 11. The Knicks 6.
And the Rockets are in tune with each other right now. Everybody making the cut at just the right time, and the passes right there.
Oakley thought that Ewing was cutting along the baseline. So the ball goes back to the Rockets.
Bob, you were talking about how much pressure does Derek Harper put on. First of all, you're allowed a light hand check, but not to impede the progress of the dribble. So it's just a matter of the officials putting a little bit more closer look into the hand check. The rules are intact.
Maxwell had the lane closed by Starks. Olajuwon. And a loose ball foul called on Thorpe. He came over the back of Smith.
Here's Olajuwon just doing what he can to catch up with this ball. Realizes he's in trouble, but that's the second type of pass he's found like that. Out of the corner of his eye, whipping it out for the three-pointer by Maxwell. And a nice pop out there by Vernon Maxwell as he received the perfect pass from up top, Otis Thorpe.
Otis Thorpe called for his second foul, replaced by Carl Herrera. Harper, Derek Harper again, able to penetrate, went straight down the lane. Rockets 11, and the Knicks 8. Carl Herrera coming off the bench to hit 6 for 6, 12 points in 20 minutes on Sunday night. And the foul called on Starks.
Well, Derek Harper has not gone to the basket much in this series, mainly because in the early games his jump shot was falling. Now he's challenging Kenny Smith because Smith is putting more pressure on him. Harper's doing what he should do, take it to the defense.
Timeout taken by the New York Knicks. 7:38 left in the first. The Rockets by 3 points.
Is that the walrus?
Oh, kids are great. I love kids.
Was that it?
I'm still a kid.
No, here's the walrus.
You know, golf gives kids a chance to explore infinite possibilities. San Diego, where I grew up, junior golf's doing great thanks to the support of the local tour event. Every year, over 1,200 kids compete in San Diego junior golf. I owe them a lot. After all, you know, whoever thought that I'd grow up to be a walrus? It just goes to show, on the PGA Tour, anything's possible.
In our hands rests the ability to lift those who have fallen, to comfort those who are troubled, to guide those who could be lost. It is the greatest power we hold, And there is no greater way to make it felt than through your united way, working harder than ever to make a lasting impact in the lives of the needy and in the hopes of your entire community. Please support your united way.
Freedom is a movement.
Uy, ¿qué dejo la ventana abierta? ¿Alguien espera algún Romeo? Aquí te puedo arriba del mar. Ay, qué miedo. Pau, ¿vas a usar tus entenderos esta noche? Aquí quiero para el baño. Mira, me gusta el trabajo. Ay, a ver.
El nuevo color del chocolate. Rocklets.
¿Y esto qué es?
Rocket! Welcome back to the Summit in Houston, Texas. There is one empty seat in this arena, and it belongs, surprisingly, to Rocket coach Rudy Tomjanovich's wife, Sophie. For years, Sophie could not make it to the games before tip-off because she was busy with their young children, and what was once a tradition has now become a family superstition. Sophie will not take her seat until the second quarter of the game, even if it means listening to the game on the radio in her car. Another superstition, this particular suit and tie, which Rudy Tomjanovich is sporting. He's undefeated with this ensemble. Marv?
Hannah, that is, of course, Sophie's choice. Oh, I'm sorry. And a foul is called. It's on Kenny Smith. 7:29 remaining in this first quarter. The Rockets lead 11-8. Sophie Tomjanovich will sit in the car, listen to the first quarter of the game on the radio, then watch a TV monitor in the back, and will not take her seat usually until the second quarter has gotten underway. Here's Ewing. Patrick Ewing with his first shot attempt.
And all off the little offering there by Starks getting into the lane and making the nice pick out. On the double teams, the Knicks are looking to take that first shot. Pat Riley does not want that.
Hakeem Olajuwon has missed his first two. Good start by the Houston backcourt. The combination of Vernon Maxwell and Kenny Smith trying to get back into it. Strong move by Charles Smith to draw the foul. So Smith going to the hoop. And he was hit by Carl Herrera.
Strong move by Smith on the post-up in transition, which is what he normally gets in the early part of the first quarter. Is if he's going to get some points, that's where he's going to get them. And a good sign for the Knicks on the weak side that time. Charles Oakley was barreling in on that weak side. No Otis Thorpe in the game right now to box him out. Otis held him to just one offensive rebound in game number 6. Was a big factor in Houston's win.
Charles Smith converts 1 of 2. Houston 11 and New York 9. Rockets with Smith and Maxwell in the backcourt. Olajuwon, Ori, and Herrera up front. Now Herrera played by Oakley. Carl Herrera. Nice move again. He has just killed the Knicks, and that goes back to the regular season, early in the season, at Madison Square Garden. Rockets 13, the Knicks 9. Harper on a crossover for Ewing. Patrick Ewing. Strong move by Ewing for his first field goal. Rockets 13, the Knicks 11.
And that had to make the Knicks bench and coaching staff very happy.
Olajuwon right back.
But not happy about that. Rudy Tomjanovich and his bench very happy there as Hakeem gets one of his easier shots in this whole series as he got the defender caught on the top side.
Rockets 15, the Knicks 11. They double up on Smith. Oakley, this time played by Ori. Smith with the jumper. Well, Charles Smith has hit his first 2. He has 5 points, and the Rockets have a 15-13 lead. Ori trying trying to bang it off Smith. He was off balance, but an illegal defense call against the Knicks.
Well, Robert Horry falling out of bounds there is just going to whip it off Charles Smith to try to save the possession and threw it very high. I'm a little surprised they stayed with the illegal defense call because it was almost simultaneous, and if it is, the illegal should be wiped off.
Hockey goaltender type save there by Charles Smith protecting himself. 5:20 to go in this opening quarter. Elijah Wan! Yes, and it counts!
Pat Riley's furious at Patrick Ewing, unable to get all the way around on Elijah Wan, getting caught on the top side. No man's land, as it were, as Oakley comes over. Nothing he can do with it except foul and give him the opportunity for a three-point play. And Patrick Ewing knows he made another bad defensive play there, and he hasn't made too many in this series.
Rockets off the three-point play have a 5-point advantage. So Akeem with 5 points. Ewing try to hit Oakley. Herrera for Maxwell. The Knicks get back. And the Rockets regroup. Herrera off the hit fake. Carl Herrera came up short. And back comes Harper. Knocked away by Horry, but it is a reach-in foul. And it appears that he jammed a finger.
Well, Derek Harper on a 3-on-3 transition type of play, making his crossover move at the top of the key, and actually he moved his body into the path of Robert Horry, who cannot resist reaching in. Actually got a piece of the ball there, but also jamming his right wrist and hand, which has been sore ever since that hard fall he took on the foul by Mason, what seemed like maybe a month ago.
Yes. Robert Horry telling the Rockets bench that he will hang in. Rockets are over the limit with 4:50 to go in this first quarter. Houston 18 and New York 15. Pressure by the Knicks. Maxwell back on the inbounds. Marv Albert, Matt Dukas, Bob Rashad, Hannah Storm. Bob Costas will be along at halftime. 4.5 to go. First quarter, Elijah Wan. And here's Starks accelerating. Horry with the rebound.
Nice move by John Starks that time, trying to take it as far as he could, was ready to pass it to Ewing, but Elijah Wan stayed in a little bit. He was able to flip it up, just got the bad roll, and almost got the steal on the offensive rebound.
Shot clock at 5. It's at 3. Elijah Wan. Oh, back come the Knicks. Smith. Rebound, Herrera.
Terrible shot there, and Pat Riley is furious. Basically a 1-on-5 jump shot. Neither Oakley nor Patrick Ewing crossed the top of the key, and just not a smart shot.
Maxwell setting up Elijah Wan. Well, Akeem is now 2 for 7 from the field. Rockets with a 3-point lead. 7th and final game. Here's Starks. And both clubs now having the difficulties. Smith off the dribble around Starks. The Knicks trying to break, but the Rockets got back. Rockets by 5, and the Knicks want to talk it over.
Kenny Smith with the floor open as the Knicks very slow getting back on defense after that well-executed play. But Kenny Smith has been taking the ball hard to the basket.
Este programa é um oferecimento de Mastercard, o mundo do esporte em suas mãos.
No
card more accepted. No athlete more renowned. Join MasterCard and the legendary Pelé in celebrating the world's most spectacular sporting event, the 1994 World Cup.
Je te trouverai au milieu du chemin. Je te trouverai au milieu du chemin. En silence.
This doesn't look right. Not right. That's not right either. I can't. Well, what's wrong? Something's wrong. I can't. Oh, that's much better. Very good. Okay, let's play ball.
Major League Baseball, only on ESPN. Play ball! Well, through the first 6 games of this series, the matchup between Derek Harper and Kenny Smith had been all Derek Harper. Tonight, it has been a different story for Kenny Smith. He has hit 3 of 3 from the field. We talked with both players about the battle that has taken place.
I think there are a lot of guys in this league that don't really do a good job of handling pressure. And our philosophy defensively is to apply as much pressure as we possibly can. And, you know, fortunately for me and for our team, I've been able to do that to him. And it's working. I think anytime something works against a guy, you have to try and keep that on a person, and that's basically what I've tried to do.
I didn't realize he was such a trash talker until this series, but when you have ammunition behind you, it's easy, I guess, to talk a little bit more.
Yes, Derek has been applying the needle to Kenny Smith right throughout, but Kenny Smith off to the good start here tonight. Shot clock down at 2. Smith with the steal. Rockets with a 5-point lead. 2:45 remaining. In this first quarter of Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Maxwell. Now met on a switch by Ewing. Maxwell fires. And it's handled by Anthony Mason, who just checked in following that Knick timeout. Mason came on for Smith. Oakley inside. Rejected by Elijah, but able to take it right back up.
And that is the first offensive rebound for either team in this game. And we played almost 10 minutes in this first quarter. So both teams very conscious of keeping the other off the offensive glass. Patrick Ewing has been very pass conscious, looking to make plays for his teammates. Good idea to start the ballgame that way.
Rockets lead by 3. And Herrera off the drive was pushed. Pushed by Ewing. That's his first. There is Sophie Tomjanovich. Matt, I might say you're looking live at Sophie, the wife of Houston head coach Rudy Tomjanovich, who usually makes a late entrance, as we mentioned earlier. She'll sit in the car, listen on the radio, watches the first quarter on a TV monitor in the back. So I'm not certain whether she will head to her seat because of her superstitious ways and those of her husband. Elijah, yes. And the Rockets lead by 5.
Another well-executed play by the Rockets. The Knicks defense not as aggressive right now, letting the Rockets pretty much do whatever they want offensively.
And a foul is called on Smith. It should be pointed out, though, that Chris Riley, and there's Chris Patchwife, is on hand from the first quarter on. No superstitions there, although Pat Riley does have his superstitions, wearing the same sport jacket that he did for game number 6, but he said he packed only one because he was hoping that would be the finale the other night.
I believe that. I think he went out and bought a new shirt and tie, however.
He replaces Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing now will sit down. Charles Smith checking in. Pat Riley has certainly shortened his bench. Anthony Mason has been getting the playing time. Greg Anthony has not been getting much time, but he's been seeing about 8 minutes a game, and Herb Williams maybe a minute or two, and that has been it. He has lost confidence in the likes of Hubert Davis, and certainly Greg Anthony was seeing more time during the regular season. Certainly the play of Derek Hoffer has contributed to that. Loose ball foul on Herrera. That's his second. Well, you can see during the course of the finals, Patrick Ewing averaging 44 minutes per game. Look at Stark, just under 42. Oakley at 40 a game. Hoffer, 38 minutes per game. During the regular season, he was virtually splitting time with Greg Anthony.
And both of these teams have expended a lot of energy early in this ball game, you would imagine, and understand with the pressure involved in a 7th game. You are just, especially with 3 days to wait before it, you cannot wait to get out on the floor. Your heart is pumping 100 miles an hour, so you probably need to get out and get a quick rest so you can get your second win. So Pat may go a little bit deeper to his bench, not that deep, but you may see an Anthony Bonner tonight if a guy like Herrera gets it going.
Bonner is the one player I thought we'd see a bit more of because of the success of Herrera. And there is a guy we have not seen during the course of this series, Earl Curitan. Checking in, this because of the foul difficulty of Otis Thorpe. Earl Curitan, a late pickup sign as a free agent. In April, he had been playing for Magic Johnson's barnstorming tour in Europe after a short stint in the CBA. Did a nice job for the Rockets. Here's Maxwell for 3. Rebounded by Mason with 1 minute left in this first quarter. Crowd wanted to travel. Smith. Rockets 22. And the Knicks 21.
Anthony Mason forcing the action a little bit there. He did walk with the ball. The crowd was right. And he's being called on that, but he made a nice play to Charles Smith.
Sam Cassell now being guarded by Greg Anthony. Cassell tried to deliver it to Curitan. Knocked away. Last touch by Oakley with 6 on the 24.
And right away, Sam Cassell barking at Earl Curitan, who has played no minutes in this series. Earl does a good job of moving around the basket, getting himself open, but you can imagine that his hands would not be very sharp at this point. Did well to just maintain another opportunity at a possession.
Down to 2, down to 1, and Olajuwon just did get it off. Rebounded by Oakley. 25 seconds left in the quarter. And the Knicks are trying to hold for 1 shot. 4-second differential between the game clock and the 24. Rockets with a 1-point lead. Here's Starks. Rebounded by Ori. 5 seconds in the quarter. Maxwell won't count. Waved off by Ed Rudd. So Kenny Smith with the fast start. 3 of 3 from the field. 6 points. Trying to turn it around after a very quiet NBA Finals series. It's Houston 22, New York 21 after 1.
Mastercard apresenta os resultados da Copa do Mundo. Mastercard, um orgulhoso patrocinador da Copa 1994.
No card more accepted. No athlete more renowned. Join MasterCard and the legendary Pelé in celebrating the world's most spectacular sporting event, the 1994 World Cup.
The Pontiac Silverdome was the site of what could be the most surprising result of World Cup '94. Switzerland scored 3 times in the second half to rout the favoured Romanians. It was the most goals Switzerland had scored in the final since notching 4 against Italy in 1954. Hagi's lone goal for Romania was his 24th in 85 international appearances. Switzerland moves ahead of Romania in Group A standings. Group play concludes on Sunday, when the United States plays Romania and Switzerland meet Colombia. For ESPN World Cup Update, I'm Mike Hill.
No card more accepted. No athlete more renowned. Join MasterCard and the legendary Pelé in celebrating the world's most spectacular sporting event, the 1994 World Cup.
Essa é a ESPN trazendo para você o melhor dos esportes.
Well, for Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing, it has come down to this 7th and final game with an opportunity for an NBA championship. Hakeem trying to do it in his 10th year, as Elvin Hayes did. Patrick Ewing trying to do it in his 9th year. Jerry West went to his 12th NBA season before winning a championship, and Oscar Robertson to his 11th, and he finally won one with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as a member of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, it's one thing to be a great player, as all of those fellas are right there, but to win a championship, you have to be surrounded by a lot of very good basketball players and a good team.
Second quarter underway from the Summit in Houston. Rockets lead 22-21. Anthony Mason and the Knicks with the lead for the first time this evening. The Knicks 23, the Rockets 22. Cassell got the step. Sam Cassell beat Greg Anthony off the dribble, but could not put it down. And here's Anthony with the room. The Knicks lead 25-22. Mario Elie on the floor for the first time. Elie in a one-on-one against Starks, and a foul on Starks. He feels that Elie lost his balance. There should not have been a foul.
Well, John was fortunate on the first bump that he didn't get a foul caught him as Mario Elie started to go by him, and John, trying to recover, stood up a little bit straight that time. Elie turned on the afterburners and able to go some contact as John Starks will get his first rest.
Picked up a second foul. He will sit down. The Knicks in the midst of a 10-2 run, and a forgotten man, Hubert Davis, in his second year out of North Carolina, who has not been able to get going in this series, has stepped onto the floor. Hubert only 1 for 8 from the field. Cassell calling for time. Cassell went down and had to use a 20-second timeout. A minute gone by in the second. Knicks by 3. We'll be right back. Yeah. Yes, yeah, that'll be good. Yeah. With that 3-point lead off a 10-2 spurt, and they have the lead for the first time tonight. Olajuwon now played by Mason. Mason played him well, preventing the shot. It will count. He just did beat the 24-second buzzer, and the Rockets trail by 1.
A rare perimeter jump shot by Otis Thorpe does most of his scoring in and around the basket, and another assist for Olajuwon.
That's 4 assists for Hakeem. Davis thought he was fouled. Here's Thorpe for Herrera. And a foul is called. Herrera did well to catch that ball. Tough pass to handle. Smith on the foul.
Olajuwon has been reading the double teams, and when he has had trouble handling the ball, he gets it back out to Thorpe here. who apparently did release it just in time, as Rudy Tomjanovich happy to see one of Otis Thorpe's rare jumpers go down.
Cassell nearly drew the foul against Anthony, who landed over his back. Cassell accelerated. Again, Sam Cassell beat Greg Anthony off the dribble. This time, he was able to hit. And the Rockets recapture the lead. They're up by 1. Davis played by Ellie. Anthony for Smith. Charles Smith. And it's rebounded by Otis Thorpe. Ellie being pressured by Davis, who got bumped, picked off by Thorpe. Cassell for 3. Yes. Sam Cassell from downtown. The rookie from Florida State has the touch. 7-0 run by the Rockets. They're up by 4. Here is Anthony. Ellie pushing down. Ellie going right at Davis. And it's rebounded by Mason. Comes out of the crowd. Pretty give and go. Anthony Mason, who led the break, was able to convert.
And that's the second time he's done that tonight. It looks like he's got his mind made up. He is going to force the action, try to go as far as he can. Nice give-and-go play with Charles Smith. You're not going to see those guys hooking up on too many fast break plays.
Rockets by 2. And Cassell draws the foul. Greg Anthony is having a very difficult time with Sam Cassell. 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining second quarter. The Rockets lead by 2.
Baby, don't leave me alone. I beg you, baby, please take me home, because I'm so tired. I just can't buy my home. Since I saw you for the first time, I can't get you out of my mind.
Nuevo Renault 21 TXI. 21 para ella. TXI para él.
Quando a Sharp nos convidou para testar a nova ViewCam, naturalmente nós aceitamos. Esta tela é uma excelente ideia, porque com ela você tem mais liberdade nas filmagens. Você pode apontar para qualquer lugar, capturando assim toda a ação. Também descobri que posso me filmar com facilidade. E com o playback instantâneo, você pode assistir o que gravou na viagem de volta para casa. A Sharp ViewCam é fácil de usar. I can, you can, we can, ViewCam.
And on this second day of summer, this the longest that an NBA season has gone. And the Knicks, who have gone to 7 on 3 occasions in the playoffs, playing their 25th playoff game. That is a new NBA record. LA Lakers, Phoenix Suns each played 24 in 88 and 83. And how about Charles Oakley? He's the only Knick player to play in and start every single game this season. An NBA record 107. For the Rockets, it is their 105th game of the season.
And Otis Thorpe has started in all of those.
Houston leads by 2. 8.5 remaining in the first half. Elijah Wan, he's been off the mark. Been forcing shots here in the first half.
And I think the Knicks defense has something to do with their keeping him from squaring up, and he's kind of taking that shot falling away. That's his normal shot.
Steele was talking about their shot selection. He would like for them to stop taking the jump shots and take the ball to the hole. Try and penetrate. Marv? Ardabad, the Knicks with their 5th turnover of the game. Houston with only 1. Rockets by 2. Cassell and Ellie at the guards. Olajuwon, Herrera, Thorpe up front. Here's Ellie with the step. And the shot altered by Ewing. And a jump ball is called.
Well, out of that little screen roll situation, Otis Thorpe with the ball got it back outside to Ellie, and instead of looking for jump shot, Ellie is sometimes a decent three-point shooter, but a much better driver and slasher. Did the right thing, took it to the basket, but looked somewhat intimidated by the presence of Patrick Ewing inside.
New backcourt for the Knicks. The starters return. John Starks and Derek Harper. Mario Ellie has been very unhappy about the lack of playing time in this series. He has been getting the time the last couple of games. Played very well in Game 6 on Sunday. And the officials checking with each other.
It's Rockets ball.
And the call is last touch by the Knicks. It will be Houston ball. Hakeem Olajuwon only 3 of 11. 7 points. He does have 4 assists. And Patrick Ewing low-keying it here at the start. 1 for 2 from the field. Herrera stepped out of bounds, says Joe Crawford.
And Carl claiming that he was pushed out of bounds on that particular play as Patrick Ewing gets somewhat of a rest, not having to guard Olajuwon right now, but that's not really a rest. He's got to watch Thorpe, and he'll patrol and roam that lane and look to help his teammate.
Foul on Cassell. Sam Cassell. Ball for his first team foul on the Rockets.
You can see both hands on the dribbler, not now just grabbing the arm. And this Sam sitting on the bench has to recognize and see what happened early in the ballgame. When one was called on Harper and then Smith, and you got to make the adjustment, but he is a rookie.
Olajuwon with the rejection. Ewing lost it off his foot. Ellie. Last touch by Herrera.
Well, I was making the point earlier that Patrick Ewing was looking to pass the ball quite a bit. Right now, he doesn't look sure at what he wants to do. Here, he took the shot with Olajuwon draped all over him. Patrick has looked confused the last 3 or 4 minutes offensively.
Harper setting himself up. On the back tap, comes back to Harper. Good play by Smith. Knicks with the ball trailing by 2. Pick and roll for Ewing. Herrera able to get to it. Ewing thought he was fouled. Cassell overthrown. Looking for Thorpe. And the ball will go back to the Knicks.
And now Patrick Ewing deciding to take the ball hard to the basket to see if something can happen here. No daylight on the strong side. Tries to up and under to the other side. Felt that he drew contact from Otis Thorpe, but doesn't get the call.
Timeout taken, 6:55 remaining in the second quarter.
Crafted with passion.
What you feel for the sport, we feel for the shoes. K-Swiss, crafted with passion.
Topper, fuerza que crece.
most valuable player, defensive player of the year. And every summer, Hakeem Olajuwon's parents travel here to Houston to visit with him. They are in Houston this week. However, they are watching the games on television. We talked about that with Hakeem.
Well, my parents are so funny because when they cannot even watch the game on TV, they keep turning it off and on just to keep the score because they see the contact, the amount of running that we do. My mother said, you really do work for your money. The first time you really see how you're sweating, how fast, but they said, well, that God will, we become victorious. So they support me with their prayers.
There's Charles Smith with the shot clock running down, and he's tied the game at 29. Hakeem was telling us in the past he would send tapes of his games to his parents in Nigeria. He'd only send them the good tapes where the Rockets would win and he'd have a good game. So his parents thought he was invincible, but he never lost a game.
Well, that had to cost a lot of money just sending the good tapes. There's plenty of them.
Rockets and Knicks tied at 29. A Houston turnover. So the ball back to New York with 6:09 remaining in this first half.
And Maxwell coming off that screen nice and tight, but the pass thrown behind him, and the early execution by the Rockets very sharp, but they've had a rash of turnovers in the last couple of minutes. Some very careless passes.
Starks and Hopper back at the guard. Smith, Oakley, and Mason up front. So Ewing sitting down. Here's Hopper for three. Good box out by Olajuwon. Nearly picked off by Oakley. Fourth for Ori. Robert Ori. Rockets by 2. For Ori, his second field goal. He has 4 points. Get the idea. Pat Riley wants Patrick Ewing very fresh for the second half. He has sat him down now twice in this first half. Hopper, that's a 2-pointer. He's asking for 3, but Ed T. Rush was right on it. And he said, no, it's a 2. And the game is tied at 31. We come up on 5 minutes left in the half. Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon with 9, and the Rockets lead 33-31.
Well, that's the Olajuwon power move there. He put that shoulder into Mason and pushed him off. He's had trouble doing that throughout this series. Mason has been so strong with that low base, and Olajuwon got it done.
Illegal defense called against the Rockets, their first violation.
Normally, Hakeem makes that first contact and will spin back to the baseline, but if you could see Mason's footwork there opened up to allow Olajuwon to come to the middle, and the Knicks do not want to do that defensively. Ewing back into the ballgame. You're right, though, Mark. Patrick has been very tentative in this first half and not sharp. We've seen that before.
Ewing off the bench to come up short. Mason, whether Oakley couldn't put it down. Olajuwon on the floor is tied up by Mason. Patrick Ewing 1 for 5 from the field, only 2 points.
But Charles Oakley in there banging away, getting between the 3 Rockets and diving on the floor. This is something that was missing in game number 6 and really the last couple of ball games. And that's what the Knicks need from Charles Oakley to get those hustle plays and those possible extra possessions.
There's Kenny Smith for Sam Cassell. 5 points for Cassell. Smith hit 3 for 3 in the early going. Ori controlling the tip. Rockets with the ball. They lead by 2. The Houston Rockets looking to win their first ever NBA championship. The Knicks try to win their first since back in the 72-73 season. Olajuwon for Ori. Nice pass for Paul. Ori combining with Paul to give the Rockets a 4-point lead.
And this is the kind of defense that the Rockets normally see with the double team right away on Olajuwon. And that's when Robert Ori becomes effective as a cutter and a slasher. Olajuwon finds him.
Starks for 3. The back tap, run down by Smith, recovered by Starks. John Starks. Rockets 35. The Knicks 33.
And give some credit there to Patrick Ewing for hustling right along with Smith to knock that ball loose and get a hustle play and a save for the Knicks and turn it into a 2-pointer.
For Starks, his first field goal. Mason jumping out on a switch. Oakley as he landed in the Houston Bay.
Well, this has been the specialty of Charles Oakley, diving into first rows, press tables, whatever to save basketballs, but really it turned out to hurt the Knicks in Game 6 when he saved one over the end line right into the hands, I think, of Robert Horry for a big two-pointer at a crucial time of the game.
3 on the shot clock. Horry will inbound. Elijah. Smith gets it off and hits. Kenny Smith swinging off glass for 3. Rockets 38, the Knicks 33, and the Knicks take a timeout. They're off the bench to greet Smith.
And Kenny Smith keeping a straight face all the way as Elijah, I think, lost track of the time. Bad pass over to Smith, has to let it fly to just beat the shot clock. He got his normal trajectory, which is line drive. He got his normal spin, which is a slider spin, but I don't think he was aiming for the glass, but he'll take it anyway, the kind of series he has had. As Rudy Tomjanovich is really extremely happy for Kenny Smith, who has handled all of these problems extremely well.
Yeah. Okay, good.
I was confused, scared. I was losing control of being normal.
Becky's family knew they had their hands full. I live in Dallas, and near here there's a special place that takes care of kids with emotional problems.
My family took me to Salesmanship Club, and it changed my life.
Because of support from the Byron Nelson Classic, Becky and many others like her have gotten a second chance.
I'm a lot happier than I've ever been.
On the PGA Tour, anything's possible.
Boy, I really did it last night. Got drunk, acted stupid, went home with... Who is that? What, am I stupid? How did I do this? Barry began to worry, really worry. What about AIDS? Then he remembered, hey, I'm just a cartoon. I don't even have to shower. Get high, get stupid, get AIDS.
Uy, ¿qué dejó la ventana abierta? ¿Alguien espera algún Romeo? Vaso tanto se terminó esta noche. Quiero para el baño. Dígame dónde está la cámara. Ay, a ver.
El nuevo color del chocolate. Rocklets.
¿Y esto qué es?
Rocklets! Folks, coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, I'll be joined live by NBA Commissioner David Stern. We'll talk about the finals and the general state of the league. And we'll also be joined by Julius Irving for first-half analysis of the Knicks and the Rockets. Dr. J was playing for the Sixers the last time a road team won a Game 7 back in 1982. We'll talk about that as well. Before we send it back to Marv, let's take a look at the last shot by Kenny Smith. It occurs to me that if this were a game of force, it wouldn't count unless he called bank. It also occurs to me that on the opening, everybody experiencing Game 7 jitters, I double clutched on the Marvelous One's name. So now let's get it right. Back to the king of NBA play-by-play man, Marv Albert.
Pat, I believe the air upstairs here at the summit is affecting Bob.
The humidity got him.
The man has lost it. He'll be all right by halftime. Rockets by 5 as we come up on 3 minutes remaining. First half. And a loose ball foul is called.
Loose ball foul called against New York.
John Starks called for his third.
Well, the Knicks are trying to make their presence felt on the offensive glass. They already have 7 second chance points to none for the Houston Rockets, and that was the biggest fear over to the bench. He knew it was his third, and he knew he was coming out.
John Starks, only 1 of 5 from the field. Greg Anthony has returned. Benny Smith and Vernon Maxwell on the backcourt. Harper and Maxwell ramming each other, and the foul on Harper.
Pat Riley back to his 3-guard rotation. Hubert Davis got a little bit of a look in the second quarter. That puts Derek Harper at the shooting guard spot, trying to prevent Maxwell from coming over and set that screen on Patrick Ewing to free up Olajuwon. And Derek Harper too aggressive with the play. An easy call for the official.
Second on Harper. Rare appearance at the line for the Rockets. Knicks 7 of 10 at the line. Rockets have been there only once. Vernon Maxwell with his 6th point. And the Rockets now lead by 6. From time to time, we have seen a combination of Greg Anthony and Derek Harper, but usually with John Starks sitting down, Pat Riley would go with Hubert Davis, or during the regular season upon occasion, Yolando Blackman.
Well, of course, Hubert losing some of his confidence, and Pat Riley consequently losing it in him. And Derek Harper shooting the ball well from the perimeter early in the series. It was easy to tighten up that guard rotation.
Harper lost it. Was it deflected? The outside official, F.G. Rush, says yes.
Well, Derek Harper trying to now penetrate, which he did early in this ball game, lost possession of the ball, and they're going to say it went off over to Storm.
Biggest lead of the game, 7-point margin. It's now down to 5 with Ewing connecting on his second field goal. The Rockets 40, the Knicks 35. 2:20 to go in this first half. Olajuwon had it knocked away and then called for the foul. That is the first for Olajuwon.
Patrick Ewing, who has been quiet offensively, was looking to pass early in the ballgame. Now looks like he's ready to catch and shoot. Really had to pound off the floor that time to get into the air, extend that right arm, because that shot was challenged hard by Hakeem Olajuwon.
And Harper right into the pick. And was rather Harper ran Maxwell into the pick, and Maxwell is called for the foul, his first.
Patrick Ewing some 26, 27 feet away from the basket where everybody can see him move that hip. Not a smart foul at all by Patrick Ewing. I'm sorry, they called it the other. I thought they were going to call Patrick for moving, which he did. It was Maxwell running into the moving pick.
Here's Anthony. Back comes Maxwell. He has Smith on the wing. Maxwell takes all the way. Vernon Maxwell breaking out in this first half after a very quiet surge. Rockets by 7. Maxwell with 9 points. Here is Harper freeing himself up. Derek Harper with 11 points. Rockets 42, Knicks 37.
And Maxwell once again felt that Ewing moved on that pick as he got knocked off. And Patrick's going to have to be very careful. He is moving that hip.
The 3 Houston guards. Horry fires for 3. The 3 Houston guards, Maxwell, Smith, and Cassell, have come up very strong in this first half. Up until this evening, they have been severely outplayed by the Knicks. Harper again. 13 points for Harper, and he brings the Knicks within 3.
And right now, Maxwell really confused right now, looking over to the bench for some help on this play. He wants the man guarding Ewing to step out and show or trap because he's getting knocked off, and Harper is getting good looks.
Another terrific performance by Derek Harper, who came over from the Dallas Mavericks, rebounded by Ewing. Harper acquired him a deal for Tony Campbell back in early January. Anthony is fouled. And Oakley was pushed aside. Horry having words with Mason. Vernon Maxwell and Derek Harper exchanging words. And it appears a technical has been called. Double technical on Anthony Mason and Robert Horry off the A hard foul on Greg Anthony.
Well, Anthony had the open jump shot, decides to take it to the basket among the tall trees and gets knocked hard to the floor and fouled. And Olajuwon kind of lost his footing there. And then when he stepped over and tried to avoid Greg Anthony, Charles Oakley took exception to it and pushed Ori out of there, and then words with Olajuwon.
Well, Greg Anthony in his third year out of Nevada, Las Vegas. Following the season-ending injury to Doc Rivers, as you see Earl Curidan check in. Greg Anthony was inserted into the starting lineup. But then Derek Harper was able to crack the starting lineup in March. And Anthony has been coming off the bench. Greg Anthony going to the line for the first time this NBA Finals series. And after the good run by Houston, New York has come back. We are down to 20 seconds left in the quarter. Olajuwon is fouled. So Akeem will go to the line. Patrick Ewing commits his second.
Well, there's another one of those decisive, quick moves by Olajuwon. Felt Ewing on his back. The quick, hard spin fake, and then the hard move into Ewing, creating that contact. As I think Olajuwon realized early in the ballgame, he was not getting comfortable position on his jump shot. Now starting to take the ball into the lane and make more power moves.
Anthony sits down. Harper is back. Chris Jett, who has seen limited action in this series, a rookie from Ohio State. Spent most of the past couple of years in the CBA. He's a good long-range shooter. That is why he is on the floor right here. Rockets by 2, 18 seconds remaining in the half. Oh, looked like Jett took a shot in the head. Here's Mason. Oh, he slams it down, throwing up a facial to tie the game at 43. Maxwell. Maxwell. Final seconds of the half. Rockets by 2. Harper looking to beat the clock. Harper gets it off for 3. Good first half here at the Summit in Houston. 7th and final game. The battle between the centers. Patrick Ewing only 2 of 6. 4 points, 6 rebounds. Hakeem Olajuwon 4 for 12 from the field. The high point man Derek Harper with 13. Vernon Maxwell with 11. Coming up, Bob Costas and the Prudential halftime report after these words.
This ESPN program is brought to you by Kodak, the color of your moment.
Toma la vida con el color que a ti te gusta. Nueva película Kodak Gold Plus.
Es el color de tu momento. Kodak.
Talvez você esteja procurando dentro de uma seleção ilimitada ou tentando encontrar algo que seja único em seu estilo. O último em tecnologia ou aquele corte perfeito. Qualquer que seja o seu lugar favorito para fazer compras, na hora de pagar, use o cartão preferido pela maioria das pessoas no mundo. Visa é o cartão.
What you feel for the sport, we feel for the shoes. K-Swiss, crafted with passion.
Plastic bottles and bags in our waterways are more than a litter problem. They kill. Hi, I'm Gary Jobson, ESPN sailing analyst. Don't throw your trash overboard. Remember, you can make a world of difference.
Você está assistindo a ESPN, a líder mundial do esporte.
We hope you've enjoyed ESPN's coverage of the NBA championships, and you can keep it right here on ESPN for all of the major sports championships. And now it's all come down to this 7th and deciding game of the NBA Finals. An entire season reduced to one game and now one half as the Houston Rockets lead the New York Knicks by 2 with just 24 minutes left in the 1994 NBA playoffs. The Rockets have never won an NBA championship, and it's been 21 years for the Knicks. First half highlights are coming up, but now let's take a look at this year's top 10 buzzer beaters on the NBA on ESPN.
In our courtside countdown. Hey, wasn't this a great way to start a new season?
3, 2, 1. He lets fly. Look out! Yes! Yes, Johnny Newman! Johnny Newman ties this game!
At number 9, it's not a great idea to push Houston to the max, especially when Vernon's around.
Vernon puts it up, and the Houston Rockets win it. The miracle season continues for Houston. They outscored the Spurs 7-0 down the stretch. What a comeback.
It's a golden moment for the Warriors as Spree hits the 3.
Spree with a three-pointer's up and good! The Warriors have won the game! Spree will with a 3 out of the left baseline, and the Warriors dance off the floor in disbelief.
It's the closing moments in Milwaukee, and Cleveland closes it out.
Wilkins way up, lets it go for 3, and he missed. Gerald Wilkins.
Okay, moving on to number 6, where there's a will, there's a day.
Heaves it up. Oh! You gotta love it.
Yes. ESPN Internacional levando agora para você beisebol. Beisebol na quarta-feira à noite. Vamos acompanhar o Seattle Mariners contra o California Angels. Not yet. Excuse me? Let me see now. What about now? You know, you listen to me. You listen to me. Hello. You listen to me.
It's halftime at the summit of Game 7 of the NBA Championship. Houston leads New York by 2. First half highlights are next. Right after this, you're watching the NBA on ESPN. Welcome back to halftime in Houston, Texas, Game 7. The Knicks trail the Houston Rockets by 2. And fittingly, we're at the summit for Game 7 of the NBA Champions. 10 years ago, Patrick Ewing led his Georgetown Hoyas to the summit of college basketball by defeating Houston's Hakeem Olajuwon, then of the Houston Cougars. They meet again in the finals. Hakeem would start quickly, drawing the D with the leap and the lead for Robert Horry. Good finish. But Derek Harper would penetrate the Rockets defense and answer with his finger roll. But the Rockets D would kick in here, the steal, and Horry up ahead for Kenny Smith, who takes it all the way for the jam. Now more Rockets. A hustling Hakeem will make the save and set up Maxwell. Then he'll nail the 3. Then just inside the arc, Mad Max will strike again, this time from the baseline. 11-4 Houston early. But on the other end, Kenny Smith can't stay with Harper. Second breakdown and layup for Harper. Now Hakeem will post and lose Patrick. Then flush over Oakley plus the foul. Now it's the Rockets' Kenny Smith. Shakes, fakes, and takes Starks to the rack. 6 points in the opening 9 minutes for Smith. Now, Patrick Ewing had only 2 points in the first, but it was this patented, swooping hook in the lane. Knicks trail by 1 after 1. Now it's Greg Anthony off the bench and off the dribble. Kicks to Mason, knocks it down. Then Anthony on the wing will pull up on the break and stick. But Anthony's counterpart, Sam Cassell, has some game too. Here losing Anthony, laying it in. Then off transition, Sam spots up and sends this three-pointer home to take back the lead. Both backup point guards playing well. Hakeem only 3 for 11 early, but oh, can he defend? And then Otis Thorpe finds Ori, who leaps and leans and scores. Rockets lead by 2. Now great ball movement by the Rockets big men. Great dish from Ori to Otis. Everything going right for Houston. Shot clock running down. Kenny Smith for 3 off the window. Houston leads by 5. Now Derek Harper and Vernon Maxwell getting to know each other a little bit in the paint. And Ewing not a big factor offensively, but check out Patrick with the turnaround and release over Hakeem. That's simply sweet. Now Maxwell in transition, slashing to the hole and scoring. Mad Max is electric in the open court. Then Derek Harper on the other end is going to drive the lane for 2 of his 13 first half points. And then it's Anthony Mason will go to the hard to the rack and finish. We'll be back in a moment. Knicks trail by 2.
It's a fact. Aerobic exercise helps you drop weight because a higher metabolism burns more calories. Introducing the Double Burner, 2 great aerobic workouts in 1 great machine. Double Burner's powerful stepping action burns calories and melts fat as it trims the lower body. The cross-country ski action boosts your metabolism for fat burning and cardiovascular conditioning. You feel revitalized, energized. Melt away fat in those problem spots. Double Burner works to flatten your tummy, firm the buttocks. You can trim your waist, shape and uplift your bust. You look slimmer, your clothes fit better, and you feel new energy like you haven't felt in years. The Double Burner is great for men and women of all ages and fitness levels. Wide, non-skid pedals are treadmill safe. Jogging and running can cause high-impact injury. Double Burner helps absorb the shock of every calorie-burning step. Custom adjust to your height, then dial resistance for your fitness level. Now, step on your Double Burner for one of the best workouts your body ever had. This high-quality exerciser is heavy-duty and balanced for rugged use. Fold-away design stores neatly under the bed or in your closet. Speed up your metabolism at home while you watch TV. Or burn off a power lunch at the office. It's a fact. When you raise your metabolism, you burn more calories, lose weight, and look trimmer. The Double Burner, 2 great exercisers in 1 great machine. Don't wait. Have your credit card ready and call now.
To order and for information on how to pay in your own currency, call the local number on your screen now. This special television offer from Interwood Marketing is available for a limited time only, so don't delay. You can order in all these countries, so please call now. Operators are standing by to take your order. If lines are busy, please call later, but do call. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Local operators are waiting to hear from you. Call now and take advantage of this limited special offer. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call now.
We're at halftime at the Summit in Houston, Texas, Game 7. Taking a look at the keys to winning for the New York Knicks. As usual, to contain Olajuwon. They've done a pretty nice job. He has struggled somewhat offensively here in the first half. Secondly, it would be front court production. 2 of the 3 forwards for the Knicks need to be productive, being either Mason, Oakley, or Smith. They need production out of 2 of those guys at least. And Harper and Starks, who have absolutely dominated the Houston guards in this series. We'll see how that's going today. Now for the Houston Rockets, their keys to winning as usual would be to control the defensive boards. They've got to keep the New York Knicks big men from from getting it up to 20 offensive rebounds. If the Knicks get 20 offensive rebounds, that's a bad sign for Houston. And guard production. The guards absolutely have to step up for Houston. They've been badly outplayed by the tandem of Starks and Harper from New York. And, of course, bench contribution. Game 6, they won Game 6, and they outscored the Knicks bench 25-7. Now leading scorers for the Knicks. Derek Harper with a big first half has 13 points. And Charles Smith with some big offense there, 10. You can see Ewing with only the 4, so we'll have to take a look at that in the second half. Now the Rockets. Vernon Maxwell has 11. He was explosive from time to time in the first half. Olajuwon's had to work hard for those 10. Kenny Smith, a big factor. He's got 9 points in the first half. He's looking to answer some critics after a subpar series. Now let's look at that matchup between Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing, the 10-year reunion from the NCAA championship game. Ewing with only the 4 points. He does have 6 rebounds, but he doesn't have any blocks today. Olajuwon 10 and 5, neither shooting very well from the field. Now you can see 43-45. Knicks trail by 2. Harper with the big first half's got those 13 points. Olajuwon leads the Rockets with 10. And we're going to be back with some more halftime numbers on ESPN in just a moment.
In racing, you must be prepared for any situation. The same is true on the open road. Always lock your doors. And if your car is bumped and you don't feel right about the situation, don't leave your car. Drive to a public place and get help. The best drivers play it safe. If you are trapped, remember, your car can be replaced. You can't.
A message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
I played 2 or 3 PGA Tour tournaments in a row, and it was just a good time for a week off. I was just channel surfing and happened on Marlo Thomas talking about the St. Jude Hospital.
A lifetime of tomorrows.
I just had to go and play. Support from the tournament is what makes a place like St. Jude's Hospital possible, because they're doing a lot of good work for kids, which is important to me because the St. Jude's Classic directly impacted a lot of kids. It just goes to show, on the PGA Tour,
anything's possible.
Esta é a ESPN, trazendo para você o melhor dos esportes.
Back at halftime of the decisive Game 7, taking a look at some team statistics here. Both teams shooting pretty well from the field. The Knicks at 45%. The Rockets are shooting 50%. Knicks have yet to hit a three-pointer. The Rockets are doing a little bit better there. They also have the edge on the free throw line. Now to the rebounding numbers. We said this would be key. The Knicks leading in rebounding overall, 21-15, but they're not dominating the offensive glass, and that's good news for Houston. Now to blocks. Patrick Ewing doesn't have any in the first half today, but Houston's got those 3, so not a big block shot advantage either way. Now to the steals, turnovers, and bench. Not big numbers here for either team. Only 2 steals for the Knicks, 4 for the Rockets. You can see turnovers are pretty even. And in a slight aberration here, the Knicks have 10 points off their bench, and they're outscoring Houston's bench 10-7. Now we've got some interesting records here happening in the NBA Finals. 2 players, Patrick Ewing and Hakeem Olajuwon, have both surpassed the previous NBA record for block shots in the final series. 23 was held by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He did that in 1980. As you can see, Olajuwon already has 26, and Ewing at this moment, the record holder with 28, though he has none today in the game. and there are 24 minutes left to play in this NBA final. Little bit of news and notes around the NBA. We have a trade between the Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Bucks. You can see the Hawks get forward Kenny Norman, and the Bucks, in return, get Roy Hinson. So that's about all that's going on for trades at this point in the NBA. Nothing too significant, but we'll have to watch that one. Now you can see the Knicks trail by 2, and we're going to get you back out to the second half in the Summit in Houston, Texas. For the last 24 minutes of the NBA season, a champion about to be crowned. Now we're going to get you right back out there. You see the Summit in Houston, Texas. We'll return you to Marv Albert.
Shot back at the Summit. Now, during halftime, Pat Riley told his team that they need to toughen up on defense. Also, he was very happy about the offensive rebound situation, that the Rockets only had 1 at halftime. He also told them that they were the best defensive team in the history of the NBA. So let's go out the second half and prove it. Marv?
All right, Ahmad. Well, Pat Riley using every ounce of his motivational skills in making that point. Well, the New York Knicks attempting to win their first NBA title in 21 years. The Houston Rockets hoping to take their first NBA championship in the history of the franchise. Third quarter is underway. The Rockets by 2, the Knicks with the ball. Hopper and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing, Oakley, and Smith up front. A very quiet first half for Patrick Ewing. Ewing on the rebound. And the game is tied at 45. Magic go back to game 7 in the series against Chicago. Patrick Ewing did not score in the first half. Had a little chat with his one-time college coach, John Thompson. There's Olajuwon getting the step, met by the double team. Olajuwon is blocked and fouled. That's number 3 on Ewing. And then Ewing turned around and had a terrific second half against Chicago and came up very strong in game 7 in the series against Indiana.
Olajuwon on the fadeaway, and you can clearly see Patrick Ewing just touch him on the wrist and force that shot to go. I don't know what Patrick is complaining about there. He took a bad shot on the first possession, but wisely followed it up. And if you'll remember game 7 against the Indiana Pacers as well, that's when he really climbed on the offensive boards and helped the Knicks win that ballgame. So even if Patrick is not making his shots, there are other ways for him to contribute offensively, mainly getting to that glass.
He has had a sporadic series, had those 9 for 29 and 8 for 28 shooting performances. He's done it defensively because he has been able to roam because of the changing matchups against Hakeem Olajuwon. Rockets have a 2-point lead. A minute in, third quarter. Starks for 3. Rebound fourth.
Of course, John had that quiet first half as well, and he'll be looking to make his presence felt.
He's 1 for 6 from the field. John Starks not able to get going. Nice lead for Thorpe. Vernon Maxwell not only showing the touch, but he has played a very smart floor game.
That was a beautiful pick-and-roll situation, and Charles Smith actually should have fouled Thorpe there to prevent the layup and make the poor free throw shooter Thorpe go to the line. We have not seen a lot of hard fouls going to layup for this series, which is kind of unusual because so many people are talking about tough, physical, aggressive defense. We have not seen that kind of play.
Ewing. Patrick Ewing throwing up a fadeaway to bring the Knicks within 2. So Ewing now 4 for 9. He has 8 points. 4 of the 8 coming here in the early going in the third. Olajuwon squeezing his way through. The team has 14 points, and the Rockets lead 51-47. And the foul is called against the Rockets.
Well, Patrick Ewing, who's been struggling with this shot here, is going to get pushed out pretty far by Patrick Ewing, by Hakeem Olajuwon. Spins away the fadeaway. He has made a number of these, and just kind of a shake of the head by Olajuwon and Rudy Tomjanovich. Surprised he went down.
That foul on Horry. Ewing throwing it to the backcourt. It is a violation, and the Rockets will get it back.
Patrick trying to throw that ball out after he was penetrating, and a little bit disappointed that Oakley could not catch up with it. Oakley's lateral movement has been on and off throughout this series due to that sprained left ankle, bruised right foot. Some days he looks better than others, running the floor and just moving laterally.
Yes, he's not the same as what we saw against Chicago, even Indiana. He's been playing hurt throughout. Horry on a hesitation dribble. Rejected by Ewing. Second block by Ewing.
That's what I mean about Oakley kind of getting shook loose here by Robert Horry, but helped out nicely by teammate Patrick Ewing, who has done this all series long, has timed the Rockets shot very well.
What a play! Oakley turned his head, and Horry able to slam it on the inbound. And the Rockets hoping that that will provide a spark. They now lead 53-47. Harper. Rebound Olajuwon. Maxwell. The ball. Olajuwon in the lane. Stopped by Smith, who got a piece of it. Trying to do it off the dribble. Ewing. Patrick Ewing with the touch here in the third quarter. The Rocket lead is now 4.
And this is the play that Rudy Tomjanovich was talking to Hannah Storm at halftime about, the fact they did not defend that pick and roll between Harper and Ewing well in the first half. They were going to have to make an adjustment. They didn't make one there.
Thorpe off the fake. Throw it away. Here comes Harper. 1 on 3. Harper all the way. Derek Harper with 15 points, and he brings the Knicks within 2. Olajuwon now being played by Smith. Ewing has 3 fouls. Olajuwon making it look very easy off the head fake.
Well, Pat Riley has been going to a different defender other than Ewing on Olajuwon in third quarters, and Smith has had some success. That time, Olajuwon just spun right off him.
Rockets by 4. Oakley kept alive by Ewing. Smith with the rebound. A third opportunity for the Knicks. They are on their feet here at the Summit. 4.5 gone by in the third. And Joe Crawford blowing the whistle. A holding foul called on the Rockets. 25. Foul on Horry, his third.
Well, Charles Smith putting the hand in the back of Olajuwon and tried to move his feet, but just the quickness of Olajuwon on that spin, and Charles Smith not having his knee bent enough, got beat by Hakeem.
There's Smith. And a loose ball foul charged to Oakley. That's his second.
Well, the Knicks have just been climbing the offensive boards, something they did not do well in Game 6. And, of course, Otis Thorpe has that ability to box out and to keep a guy off Oakley off there, as he did, but pushed in the back by Charles Oakley.
Carl Herrera has come on, replacing Robert Horry. 6 points for Horry. Rockets with the ball. They lead by 4. Herrera being played by Oakley. Again, the spin by Olajuwon, and he's fouled. Foul committed by Smith, his second. Timeout taken bucket by the Rockets with 6:57 remaining in the third.
Esta é a ESPN, trazendo para você o melhor dos esportes.
Back in Houston, the superstitious Sophie Tomjanovich has finally made her way to her seat. She watched the early portions of the game in an executive room here at the Summit, and now she is on hand.
Well, you hate to give up easy baskets. Charles Oakley thinks that Ori's going to go to the outside. He gives him a jab step and right to the basket. This man can't help because he's afraid of the man on the right side. And the nice lob pass by Maxwell and the tomahawk jam by Robert Horry. And Oakley, once again, just not able to move laterally. What he should do in that situation is make sure that Horry goes to the outside.
Little poke from Oakley at Robert Horry, who was upset. In fact, teammates had to calm him down when he was back on the bench, replaced by Carl Herrera. Rockets with a 55-51 lead. 6:50 to go. Third quarter. Herrera played by Oakley. Delivers to Olajuwon. Looks to put the move on Smith. Now Maxwell. Bad shot. Still at about 7 on the 24. But a break. A break for the Rockets. It was last touched by the Knicks.
Well, the Rockets are coming out. They're making no bones about it. With Charles Smith guarding Olajuwon, they would like to get Akeem inside. Terrible execution on the play. And then, of course, Maxwell thinking of clock winding down.
Now the shot clock at 2. Here's Thorpe. Missed the stuff. Knocked out of bounds by Maxwell.
A good sharp cut by Otis Thorpe, and Olajuwon will look for that. And you hate to give up one there, as all he had to do was turn that thing over. Hard to believe he missed it.
Starks and Hoffer in the backcourt. Ewing with Smith and Oakley up front. Here's Hoffer for 3. And a loose ball foul on Oakley. For Charles Oakley, that's his third foul. So 3 apiece now on Oakley, Ewing, and Starks. For the Rockets, Robert Horry with 4.
And both teams becoming unglued offensively right now. Nothing really that the defense is doing. We saw Maxwell take a terrible shot. Derek Harper rushed a 3 from about 28 feet. So the guards have to get themselves under control.
Herrera played on a switch by Ewing. Shot clock at 5. Good defense by Starks. Thorpe gets it off. Herrera with the offensive rebound. Smith coming up short, and a foul on Herrera.
Well, the Rockets now starting to climb in and creep into some openings, although there were 4 Knicks around that time on the defensive board. Carl Herrera in the right spot at the right time for the Rockets gave them another good look at a 3 by Kenny Smith.
Herrera with his 3rd foul. Ewing setting the screen. Derek Harper off the mark. And back come the Rockets.
And both Otis Thorpe and Carl Herrera on those last 2 trips doing an excellent job of blocking out Charles Oakley.
Elijah Wan. 18 for Hakeem Olajuwon. The Knicks have missed their last 5 shots. Down by 6 points. Ewing had it deflected short by Olajuwon. For Hakeem, his 3rd block. Maxwell. Smith. Olajuwon. And Ewing with the rebound. Hopper pushing it down. Derek Hopper has had another outstanding game. Charles Smith played by Carl Herrera. Smith backing his way. Shot clock at 5. Oakley lost it, but fouled from behind by Thorpe.
Well, Charles Oakley, knowing the shot clock was winding down with a little fake of the eyebrows up, got Otis Thorpe leaning a little bit and then tried to put it on the floor and get to the basket. He really got a break on the play as he did get shoved by Thorpe, but he was in trouble. He was going to lose possession there.
That is number 3 on Thorpe. Knicks in the midst of a drought. Oakley. So Charles Oakley with only his 2nd field goal. And the Rockets are up 57-53. We come up on 4 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. They double up on Smith. Smith and Maxwell in the backcourt. Olajuwon, Herrera, and Thorpe on the front line. Here is Hakeem with the spin. And it's rebounded by Oakley. Olajuwon went down, but he's all right. Ewing. Herrera rebound. Patrick Ewing is now 5 for 13. Really Tomjanovich calling a timeout with 3:35 remaining. In the 3rd, it's the Rockets by 4. Well, apparently they call a 20-second timeout, so we will stay right here. Once again, a close ball game throughout. Houston has led by as many as 7. The Knicks have led by as many as 3. And yet another change. It is now a full timeout. So we will pause for these messages with Houston up 57-53.
Nothing else builds such excitement, such hope, camaraderie, and pride. But the World Cup also builds something else. A thirst. Budweiser, official beer of World Cup '94.
What you feel for the sport, we feel for the shoes. K-Swiss, crafted with passion.
Knicks to this point, it has been a quiet game for their three all-star representatives, Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, and John Starks. In fact, each with 3 personal fouls with 3:35 remaining. In this third quarter, the Rockets have a 4-point lead. Let's check in with Hannah Storm.
Well, Marv, the Rockets talked about better ball movement in that timeout and better spacing. They want to swing the ball and get it into Akeem. They feel that they've been trying to throw the ball to Akeem. He's been coming out to get it and is putting the ball in bad position. Marv?
All right, Hannah, Akeem at the top of the circle as Sam Cassell just checked in. Hamlet setting up Herrera. Carl Herrera with a second field goal. And he gives the Rockets a 59-53 lead. Hopper guarded by Cassell. Starks for 3. John Starks has been off. Mason with the rebound. Another offensive rebound for the Knicks. John Starks has had many games like this during the course of the season. Hugh Evans waves it off a foul against the Rockets. John Starks will try to shoot himself back into the ball game after struggling, and that has been the case here tonight. He's 1 for 7 from the field. The foul was called on Olajuwon, his second. Rockets over the limit, so Ewing to the line for the first time.
And John is starting to show a little frustration right now that he cannot get involved. I saw Charles Oakley go over, give him a little pat on the back, tell him to hang in there. Actually, the Knicks came out executing that play. It looked at first like they wanted to get the jump shot for Oakley. He kicked it over to Starks for that 3, but really the Knicks are not doing a lot of things for John Starks. He normally comes off those little stagger screens very well and sets himself up. They're going to have to get him involved in some screen roll as well.
Well, it's a troublesome situation for the Knicks because they are now in a situation where they must have Starks shoot himself back into it because it does not figure that Pat Riley will go to a Hubert Davis. And during the regular season, he might have gone to Rolando Blackman in this type of scenario. Cassell off a double team. Maxwell fires it with the shot clock running down. And it's a 24-second violation.
Well, Marv, I don't think there's any question that Pat Riley is going to stay with John Starks, even if he's 1 for 14. This is his guy in the fourth quarter. He would just like to get going a little bit in his closing minutes of the third quarter.
2:25 remaining in the third. Rockets with a 5-point lead. Ewing off the drop step. Nice fake to draw the foul. It's on Olajuwon. That is his third.
Rockets foul.
Well, Olajuwon has been measuring Patrick Ewing on a lot of these jump shots. Patrick really didn't make the contact to create the space, but the little hedge fake got Olajuwon leaning, and Patrick Ewing took care of the rest by initiating that contact.
Patrick Ewing with 8 of his 12 points here in the third quarter.
I see Pat Riley over there talking to his assistant coach, Dick Harder, right now, as the Knicks are struggling with their defense on screen roll situations. Now we'll trap it 99 times out of 100, but it has not been effective right now. The Rockets are ready for it and getting very good shots.
Houston 59, New York 55. A rookie from Florida State, Sam Cassell, handling against the veteran Derek Harper. Herrera. He feels he can beat Oakley on the baseline. Got the step. Last touch by the Rockets.
While all that was going on, Anthony Mason battling with Olajuwon inside, trying to front. They swung it up top. Decent defense out there by Ewing, but a good defensive job by Mason on Olajuwon.
At the Knicks only 1 for the last 9. Low-scoring third quarter. Rockets with 14 points, Knicks with 12. Shot clock at 3. Here's Starks, rejected by Olajuwon. Maxwell try to draw the foul. And the Rockets regroup. Maxwell with a jump shot. Vernon Maxwell, 5 of 8 from the field. He has 13, and the Rockets now lead 61-55. The Knicks calling for time.
Well, John Starks trying to make something happen, going hard to the basket. A bunch of traffic in there, and the best shot blocker in the business waiting for him as Starks exploded into the air, but couldn't get it over the outstretched arm of Hakeem Olajuwon.
Hakeem Olajuwon a moment ago with his 4th block shot. A minute 2 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and the Rockets now lead by 6 points. Well, Pat Riley said there are only 2 things in the NBA. There's winning and there's misery, referring to competing in the NBA Finals. This is a man who has won 4 NBA titles with the Los Angeles Lakers. And the Knicks attempting to join the New York Rangers and make it 2 teams from the same city to win championships. The last time that occurred was 1979, when both the Pirates and the Steelers pulled it off in Pittsburgh. The 1986 Mets and 1986 football Giants were both champs, but the Giants did not win the Super Bowl until 1987. Back in 92, the Chicago Bulls and the Chicago Blackhawks went to the finals. The Bulls won the championship. The Blackhawks did not. Never before has one city produced an NBA and NHL title in 1 year. And several of the Knicks players have been taking inspiration from the team that, as they put it, they are joined at the hip with, the New York Rangers. I know that Darren Harper has been keeping a photo of Mark Messier at his locker, trying to draw from the Stanley Cup title won by the New York Rangers only 8 days ago.
Well, if you were in New York about a week ago, there was no way that you could not get caught up in that frenzy. And Marv, you were even excited about it.
Yes, I was.
I know you were. Okay. Pat Riley right now not very excited. He just cannot figure out what the Knicks can do to score. The only time they look good offensively is when Harper puts it on the floor, gets into the lane, draws some defense to him, and then kicks out to an open shooter. Other than that, nothing looks sharp offensively for the Knicks.
On the other hand, the Houston Rockets, who have a 6-point lead, are trying to win their first ever NBA title. Remember, they did go to the finals in a surprise in Hakeem Olajuwon's 2nd year in the league and were beaten by the Boston Celtics. But at that time, no one took the Rockets seriously. Not the case here this season. Harper hits a 3. Derek Harper with the first 3-pointer of the night for the Knicks. And the Rocket lead is now 3. They double up on Purcell. Maxwell for 3. Air ball. And it will be the Knicks regaining possession.
Well, an excellent look. Of course, Vernon Maxwell was so wide open, he probably felt uncomfortable there. But when the Knicks double team that screen roll situation, it is opening up a lot of opportunities for Houston.
Oakley. And the Knicks have come roaring back. They are within 1 with 20 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Well, this is the way these last 3 games of this series have gone. They have come down to the 4th quarter. We're down to 5 seconds in the 3rd. Herrera, yes! Rockets by 3. Final seconds of the quarter. Starks can't find the look. And that's the end of the 3rd. The basket will not count. Hakeem Olajuwon leading the way for Houston. 8 of his 18 here in the 3rd. 4 block shots, 5 assists. Rockets by 3. 4th quarter coming up. Back after this from your local station.
Quando a Sharp nos convidou para testar a nova ViewCam, naturalmente nós aceitamos. Esta tela é uma excelente ideia, porque com ela você tem mais liberdade nas filmagens. Você pode apontar para qualquer lugar, capturando assim toda a ação. Também descobri que posso me filmar com facilidade. E com o playback instantâneo, você pode assistir o que gravou na viagem de volta para casa. A Sharp View Cam é fácil de usar. I can, you can, we can, view can.
Talvez você esteja procurando dentro de uma seleção ilimitada ou tentando encontrar algo que seja único em seu estilo. O último em tecnologia ou aquele corte perfeito. Qualquer que seja o seu lugar favorito para fazer compras, na hora de pagar, use o cartão preferido pela maioria das pessoas no mundo. Visa é o cartão.
Tell by the sound of your voice if you're really in love with me. And you are.
Yes, we are.
I love this game. In our business, there's no timeout and there's no rest.
Control of a beast, if you will. You know, that's what a race car is.
You're driving at 230 miles per hour. The wind is hitting the top of your helmet, and you cannot control your head movement. Everyone dreams about running over 200 miles per hour. Everybody.
That's where we derive the ultimate satisfaction.
Esta é a ESPN trazendo para você um mundo de esportes.
That is what they are playing for. The Larry O'Brien Trophy will be on hand for the trophy presentation following the ball game. It has come down to the fourth quarter. The Knicks have outscored the Rockets in every fourth quarter this series, and John Starks has been the man. 16 of his 27 in Game 6 in the fourth quarter, although he did miss that final three-point attempt that would have won the series for the Knicks. But Hakeem Olajuwon jumping out got a piece of it. So this 1993-94 NBA season has come down to this. Rockets 63, the Knicks 60 as the fourth quarter gets underway. Sam Cassell, and a foul is called. Cassell is back out there along with Mario Elie. Foul on John Starks, and that is 4 on Starks.
Another indication of John's frustration, not being able to get it going offensively, just 1 for 8 from the field. And a foolish foul there, fouling Cassell, who normally doesn't shoot that middle-distance jump shot very well, but does shoot his free throws extremely well. Olajuwon was not on the floor for the last 20, 30 seconds. He's missed a total of 1:15 in this ballgame, getting a rest. And while he's been out, the Knicks have outscored the Rockets 9-2. I don't think we're going to see Hakeem on the bench for a while.
Sam Cassell, who is an 84% free throw shooter, hitting on both. Rockets lead by 5. Harper and Starks at the guard. Ewing, Mason, Oakley up front. Ewing with the fake. Nice move by Patrick Ewing. He has 14. Rockets 65. The Knicks 62.
Olajuwon with 3 fouls there. Still that's a pretty good cushion, but backed off on the Ewing jump hook.
Looked like Ewing got a piece of it. Cassell on the intercept. Cassell with the bucket. Charles Oakley's pass picked off by Sam Cassell. And the Rockets lead 67-62. Ewing with the screen for Harper. Ori rebound. Pops it down to Cassell. And a foul called on Harper. That's his third.
Charles Oakley securing this rebound, and with the one-hand pass, not able to bring it back. He knew he made a mistake right away as the alert defensive play by Sam Cassell not only picked it off, it knocked in the two. It's going to be a two-shot foul as Harper hit Cassell from the back on a clear path to the basket situation. There's nobody in front of Cassell, and Harper just trying to stop the play, whatever. But a good call by the trail official, Eddie Rush, who went right over to Evans to tell him what he had.
Sam Cassell had that clear path to the basket, so he gets the two. Remember, against the Phoenix Suns in game number 7, the rookie Sam Cassell came up very strong in the fourth quarter, 9 of his 22 in the fourth. And Cassell has had another strong game here. He has 11 points, and the Rockets have matched their biggest lead of the night. They're up by 7. A minute 20 gone by in the fourth. Cassell all over Harper. Ewing played by Olajuwon. Off the fake, Patrick Ewing has turned it around in the second half. He now has 16 points in all. Rockets 69. And the Knicks 64. They double up on Cassell. Herrera now picked up by Ewing. And Herrera stripped, lost it. It'll be Knick ball.
Well, Patrick Ewing starting to feel it right now. Sees that no double team is coming. Little hesitation dribble. The long step and the pump fake to get away and clear himself from the tough defense of Olajuwon.
Charles Smith has come on, replacing Charles Oakley. 2 minutes in, fourth quarter. Away from the ball, a holding foul on Mario Elie.
Elie in here, not only to give Maxwell a rest, but also he's a very tough defender. And the one thing that Rudy Tomjanovich has to be concerned about, despite the fact that John Starks is not shooting the ball well right now, he knows how hot he can get, how quickly he can do it.
Harper freeing himself up, has a good look. And back comes Cassell. Cassell and Elie at the guards. Olajuwon up front with Herrera and Ori. Olajuwon with the spin for Ori to the reverse. Robert Ori has come up with several big buckets. And the Rockets lead by 7. 9:34 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Well, every time Olajuwon apparently is in trouble, Robert Ori is his bailout guy. He's always moving, slashing to the basket, cutting, and Hakeem generally finds him.
Pretty baby, don't leave me alone. I beg you, baby, please take me home, because I'm so tired. I just can't buy my home. Since I saw you for the first time, I can get you out of my mind.
Nuevo Renault 21 TXI. 21 para ella. TXI para él.
Talvez seja devido à sua ampla aceitação e acesso a dinheiro a nível mundial, ou devido ao conveniente serviço telefônico VisaPhone. Pode ser que seja devido ao seguro grátis de automóveis alugados, ou pela tranquilidade que o seguro de acidentes de viagem lhe proporciona. As razões são muitas. Por isso, na hora de pagar, use o cartão preferido pela maioria das pessoas no mundo. Visa é o cartão.
Yes, it's Mom. Look, honey, I've got a lot of work to do, so I won't be home until late again. Just do the usual, you know, fix yourself a little something, anything you want. Oh, and I left some money for you on the counter. Use it for whatever you like. Now, Dad won't be home until Tuesday. He says hi. Oh, and somebody told me you quit soccer. Is anything wrong? Well, just leave me a note. Love you. Bye.
Miller Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
Well, tonight's Miller Moment looks at the 1988 Finals between the Lakers and Pistons. The last time that an NBA Finals went 7. The game won by the Lakers, 108-105, making it 2 straight championships for the Lakers, who, of course, were coached by Pat Riley. The Lakers winning games 6 and 7 at home to prevail. In recognition of this moment, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. And they're a key member of that Laker ball club, Irvin Magic Johnson. James Worthy with an enormous game in that 7th contest, triple-double, named the Finals Most Valuable Player back in 1988. Rockets 71 and the Knicks 64 as we resume. 9 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Shot clock down to 6. Harper. Picked off by Cassell.
And it all started with the good pressure of Cassell, and he also read the play and forced Harper into an uncomfortable position and a bad turnover.
Starks playing with 4 fouls. Elijah Wan over Mason and foul. So Akeem will go to the line. Mason called for his first personal.
Akeem being hit and pushed by Mason, trying to knock him off the spot, but Olajuwon just keeps working, feels the body contact from Mason, and just going up there, primarily looking just to get fouled, and that's what he got.
Olajuwon is 4 of 5 from the line. A very impressive stat line developing. Let's go to Ahmad Rashad.
All right, Mark, on that last time out, Pat Riley telling his team that they need to be more relentless. All the loose balls on the floor that the Rockets are getting should be the Knicks. He said they need to make a run right now. If they can do that right now, he feels that the Rockets, even though they're at home, they will get tight. Mark?
Thank you, Ahmad. Biggest lead of the game. Houston is up by 8. And again, they're on their feet at the summit. Starks rejected and fouled. He drew the double team, and the foul was called. It's on Olajuwon, number 4.
And Olajuwon stepping out to try to help out and prevent the penetration and shot by John Starks. And a good play by Starks just to lean in a little bit to draw that contact as the Knicks keep searching for a way to get John Starks going. Offensively, they're going to need his firepower to try and get back in this ballgame.
John Starks, 3 of 3 from the line. He has been Mr. 4th quarter for the New York Knicks. Last 3 games, first 3 quarters, total of 28 points. But in the 4th quarter, it has been a different story. And in Game 6, he had 16 of his 27 in the 4th and had a shot to win it all in the final second. Rockets by 6. 8:35 remaining in the 4th. Cassell, yes. Sam Cassell with 13 points. Rockets lead 74-66. Brett Anthony back on the floor, takes the 3. Rebounded by Mason. Starks for 3. Looked like Horry got a piece of it. And it will be Nick Ball.
Well, Sam Cassell has been brilliant in this 4th quarter at the defensive end, and he got him started off early in the 4th with scoring, and here he just took the ball down to the baseline and shot over the smaller Greg Anthony.
Anthony and Starks now in the backcourt. Here's Starks again. So he continues to fire away. 1 for 10 for John Starks. Houston up by 8. Greg Anthony earlier had big problems with Sam Cassell. Here's Herrera, too strong, and chased down by Charles Oakley, who is back on the floor. Oakley Oakley, Ewing, Mason up front. The New York Knicks winning 57 games during the regular season, winning the Atlantic Division, second in the Eastern Conference. Knocked off the Nets in the first round, then beat Chicago, beat Indiana. Here's Oakley, cutting the lead to 6. Charles Oakley has 8 points.
Pat Riley making sure that the Knicks went inside to Ewing, would like to maybe pick up the 5th foul on Olajuwon, but the double team came. They found the open Oakley, and he finally had a good-looking shot leave his hand.
Bad pass thrown by Cassell. And Cassell and Ori having a heated discussion about it.
Well, they do this a lot. It doesn't look very pretty, but this is how they communicate. And then they are good buddies when they get back into the locker room, but they should try to keep more poise out on the basketball floor. I mean, it just looks better, and it does not show the other team that you're out of sorts.
Just under 7 minutes. Remaining on the 4th. Starks setting up Anthony for 3. Greg Anthony with an open 3. And it cuts it to a 3-point Houston lead.
Well, Sam Cassell has been the guy to either go double team Ewing inside or to help out on the penetration of Starks. And they left another shooter alone who has not been shooting well, but he nailed that.
Olajuwon on the recovery. Cassell for 3. Ewing with the save. Last touch by the Knicks. Both Anthony and Oakley diving for him.
Well, Greg Anthony going to park himself deep in the right corner. The penetration by John Starks set this all up. And so far, Cassell has been the roamer, the guy looking to help out for everybody else. Big hoop for Greg Anthony.
Este programa da ESPN é uma cortesia do Citibank. O Citi nunca dorme.
Topper, fuerza que crece.
Well, as we mentioned, the last time the Knicks won an NBA championship was back in the 72-73 season. Now, to put into perspective how long it's been, Richard Milhouse Nixon was president at the time. We were celebrating a ceasefire of the war in Vietnam. And a gas strike was stalling millions of motorists from their daily routine. That's back in 1973. And the city of Houston starving for a champion, deprived in football during the Earl Campbell era, again through the Warren Moon years, and the frustrations of the 1986 Houston Astros coming so close to a World Series appearance. Tonight, one champion will be crowned, and with that coronation, years of frustration will be left behind. The city of Houston can claim an AFL title back in 1960 behind George Blanda at quarterback, and the Houston Aeros of the World Hockey Association did win a championship. Olajuwon, yes. Rocket 76. The Knicks 71 with 6 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. A moment ago, Greg Anthony with that big three-pointer, his first three-pointer of the NBA Finals. Now being guarded by Kenny Smith. John Starks for three. Cannot get off. Starks is now 1 for 11.
And that's the second good look at a three in a row for John Starks, and he's really fighting himself right now. He's going to have to try to keep his confidence. Interesting that Rudy T has come back with Kenny Smith. Sam Cassell getting the Rockets off to such a good start in the fourth quarter with 8 points. I think Rudy felt things coming a little bit unglued during that New York run.
So Vernon Maxwell and Kenny Smith in the backcourt. Akeem Olajuwon, Otis Thorpe, Robert Horry up front. Olajuwon lost his balance. Here comes Anthony. Starks again for three. I don't know, Matt, you reach a point as Olajuwon was back down court. And a 20 is taken by the Knicks. Rockets by 7. I know the Knicks have stayed with the philosophy of going with John Starks, but I would think you reach a point, hey, you got to stop shooting. Timeout call, 5:28 remaining in the fourth. John Starks is now 1 for 12 from the field. He's 0 for 7 from three-point land. He's moving into the 0 for 14 Dennis Johnson territory. Dennis Johnson, a terrific playoff performer over his career with the Celtics and the Suns and the Supersonics. But Game 7 of 1978 with Seattle, he went 0 for 14. Starks keeps pumping him up. Rockets lead by 7. We come up on 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Anthony for Starks, shooting again. Starks is now 1 for 13.
Now that was a good shot, Marvel. You know, this is what John Starks is going to do. He only knows one way to play, but what you have to do if you're John Starks is try to penetrate, make plays for other people, and only take the shot when it comes for you. Don't go out of your way to look for it.
Good play by Ewing, but recovered by Olajuwon. Horry with the spin. Loose ball foul called on the Rockets. That is number 5 on Horry.
And Rudy Tomjanovich waving there to Horry. Stay in there, stay in there. I'm going to stay with you right now. There's Larry Smith, assistant coach, going up to Rudy to talk to him to give him some kind of advice.
Derek Harper back on the floor. Now he and John Starks in the back. But Horry with the steal off the pass thrown by Harper. Here's Smith going right at Harper. And knocked out of bounds by Oakley, who felt the pressure from Horry.
Well, Robert Horry has been going hard to the glass there. May have been a little contact in the back of Oakley. The Knicks have been very fierce going to the glass. As that a bad pass there by Harper, as the pass should have been thrown to the outside hand of John Starks. Just a poor one on the inside.
4:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Rockets with the ball. They lead by 7. Olajuwon now played by Oakley. Olajuwon. Rebound fought. And they'll reset. Only the third offensive rebound by the Rockets. Olajuwon will account. Foul before the shot attempt. The beautiful head fake by Olajuwon made his way around Oakley and took the kick.
Well, we've seen Akeem make this spin move on the other side of the floor. That is just a lightning quick catch-and-go move that Oakley cannot just catch up with, as Rudy Tomjanovich would have rather had the made field goal than the foul and the ball out of bounds, obviously.
Non-shooting foul. Knicks with their 14th foul. Rockets have 3. Olajuwon. And it's rebounded by Mason. Oakley went down, but apparently he's all right. Hobbling his way back up court. 3:35 to go in the fourth. Starks that time hesitated. He had the shot. Ewing comes up short. Rebound Starks. John Starks able to convert the offensive rebound. And it brings the Knicks within 5.
Well, when you get that open for him, you can't hesitate. I don't care how many you miss. If you're a shooter, shoot the ball. There's no question John Starks is thinking, but he got a tremendous break there of getting the ball back and laying it in.
We're approaching 3 minutes to go. Fourth quarter. 7th and final game of the NBA Finals. Smith had to force it. The shot clock running down. Ewing for Starks. Starks off the dribble. Oh! Rebound Oakley, and he's fouled. Olajuwon going for the block. And the foul has been called. That is number 5 on Olajuwon. Timeout taken. We'll be right back.
This ESPN program is brought to you by Kodak, the color of your moment.
Con el color que a ti te gusta. Nueva película Kodak Gold Plus.
Es el color de tu momento. Kodak.
There are so many obstacles in the way, and there's always an excuse to quit. It's too hard, too much pressure. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I was determined to succeed. If it wasn't basketball, it would be something else. I wanted to do something with my life. And let's face it, if you don't have your high school diploma, you don't have a shot. Stay in school. It's your best move.
Watching ESPN, the world's leading sports network.
The Rockets with a 5-point lead on the Knicks. Only 2:51 remaining in the fourth. Another close game as we go down to the stretch. Only once has there been a series where every game was decided by 10 points or less. That's been the case in this series. You'd have to go back to 1955 Syracuse in Fort Wayne. That was the first year of the 24-second shot clock. The foul rundown, 4 apiece on Starks and Oakley, 5 apiece on Ori and Olajuwon.
Had a storm telling us during that timeout. Rudy Tomjanovich warning Akeem Olajuwon, do not foul. We need you in this ballgame. Now, with him having 5, the Knicks probably should look inside. Not probably. They should look inside to Patrick Ewing, see what he's got. If he gets the double team, then make the crisp pass out of there, another pass, and the Knicks will get a good-looking shot.
The Knicks have 3 timeouts left. The Rockets 2 and a 20. Both teams have 4 team fouls. Charles Oakley on the line for the first time. And he has been a solid free throw shooter. 78% during the season for Oakley at the line. Charles hanging in there despite assorted injuries. 9 points, 12 rebounds, 4-point Houston lead. The Rockets 78, the Knicks 75. Some pressure by the Knicks. Ori back to help. And Smith throws it across. Smith and Maxwell in the backcourt. Olajuwon, Ori, court, up front. Past couple of years, Kenny Smith has rarely been on the floor in final minutes of the game. It's usually been Scott Brooks or Sam Cassett. Olajuwon with 25. And the Rockets have an 80-75 lead. Now to 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Ewing with the pick. It's a pick and roll. Olajuwon had to let him go. Fourth with the rebound. Olajuwon stepped away.
And the Knicks like to go to that little fake screen and roll where just Ewing dives to the basket. He was a little bit tentative with the shot.
We're under 2 minutes to go in the fourth. Olajuwon changed his mind. Maxwell for three. Vernon Maxwell from downtown. And the Rockets now lead 83-75. Timeout called by the Knicks. A minute 48 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Well, the Rockets continue to go to Olajuwon. He was pushed out by Ewing, and he now has been kicking the ball all over, and I mean kicking it out for open shots, as Maxwell, one of his rare threes in this series, and maybe the biggest one.
Vernon Maxwell turning it around. 6 of 10 from the field for 16 points.
Budweiser, la única cerveza oficial de la Copa Mundial.
Je te trouverai au milieu du chemin. Je te trouverai au milieu du chemin. En silence.
What you feel for the sport, we feel for the shoes. K-Swiss, crafted with passion.
You want to know how Maxwell got free? Olajuwon with the ball here, and John Starks looking to help here, and it's going to just leave Maxwell open just enough to get a clear look over the outstretched arm of John Starks.
Vernon Maxwell hitting his second from downtown this evening. 16 points in all. The Rocket backcourt has turned it around here tonight. The Knicks have hit only one for the last 7. 2 timeouts remaining for the Knicks. 2 and a 20 for the Rockets. 8-point Houston lead. A minute 40 to go. And a foul is called. Ewing was trying to set up down low. And Maxwell called for his second.
Same kind of defense that the Rockets went to in Game 6, very late switching. So Olajuwon was outside on John Starks, and with Maxwell inside on Patrick Ewing. Patrick telling John Starks, throw that ball up higher where I can see it coming so I can catch and make my quick move.
Ewing is 2 of 4 at the line, and from time to time he has had problems in closing minutes of games. Rockets are now over the foul limit. Ewing, and remaining, one of two. The Rockets 83, the Knicks 76. Minute 35 remaining, fourth quarter. Rockets would like to take some time here. The next Knick foul would put them over the limit. Shot clock at 5. Shot clock at 3. Olajuwon with the fadeaway. Rebound Mason. A minute 10 remaining. The Knicks trailing by 7. Here's Harper. And Hugh Evans telling Rudy Tomjanovich, it's my call and the call against the Rockets. Hugh hesitated for a moment as he looked at the Houston bench. And Harper will go to the line. A foul on Smith.
Well, Derek Harper in all kinds of trouble here on his penetration, has nowhere to go. And they're actually, I think they're calling that on Kenny Smith from behind as Harper ran into Robert Horry. They're saying Smith pushed him from behind.
Harper only a 69% free throw shooter during the season. He's 4 of 5 tonight. It has been a superb NBA Final Series for Derek Harper. He has been the most valuable Knick. 20 points for the game. Rockets by 5. We come up on 1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter. Tripping foul called on Starks. That is his 5th foul. So the Knicks are now over the limit with 52 seconds remaining in the fourth.
Maxwell trying to turn the corner on John Starks. He had a hand check, a little foot in there to trip, and Maxwell has struggled throughout this series from the free throw line.
And Vernon Maxwell is 2 of 3 at the line tonight. During the season, a 75% shooter.
But just 57% in this series.
The Rockets, 84. The Knicks, 78. 45 seconds remaining in the fourth. Starks for 3. Rebound Horry. Tied up. And a jump ball is called. Rudy Tomjanovich had to be restrained as he reacted to that call.
He was banging away with Scott Brooks there as he wanted the foul called. Now he starts pushing away at little Scott Brooks, who had nothing to do with it.
Oakley and Horry on the tip. Control by the Knicks. Starks again for 3. And a foul against the Knicks. John Starks is now 2 for 17. Oakley called for his 5th foul. And the Knicks are now 2 of 17 from downtown. Starks now with this shot, Matt, 0 for 10 from three-point land.
And that's exactly where he tried to get the game winner and the NBA championship winner in Game 6, the one that was blocked by Olajuwon. Here he had to give a little double kick in the air to get it up, as obviously his shot just not there. Even the ones where he had good looks and got up in the air nicely, wouldn't fall for him. One of those just 6 sad nights for John Starks.
Otis Thorpe only a 66% free throw shooter. 31 seconds remaining. And Thorpe misses both. Timeout taken by the Knicks. The Rockets 84, the Knicks 78. We'll be right back.
companhia aérea favorita do mundo reúne 24 milhões de pessoas. British Airways, a companhia aérea favorita do mundo.
¿Por qué dejó la ventana abierta?
¿Alguien espera algún Romeo?
¡Ay, que te arriba del baño! ¡Ay, qué miedo! Che, Pau, ¿vas a usar tu secadero esta noche? ¡Ay, primero para el baño! No, mira, me gusta el trabajo. ¡Ay, a ver!
El nuevo color del chocolate. Rocklets.
¿Y esto qué es?
¡Rocket!
The Knicks, with only one field goal the last 5 minutes and 20 seconds. The perimeter shooting has been their major problem right through the season. John Starks, though, 2 for 17, 0 for 10 from beyond the three-point arc. The Knicks shooting only 39% for the game. Rockets at 34 of 73, 47%. 31 and 6/10 seconds remaining. The Houston Rockets seeking their first ever NBA championship. It is Nick Ball. Rockets lead by 6 points. The Knicks have 1 timeout left. Rockets have 2 and a 20. Elijah moving out on Harper. Here's Hubert Davis, who just checked in. 3-point attempt. And back comes Kenny Smith. The Houston Rockets, 15 seconds away from an NBA championship. The foul against the Knicks, who are over the limit. Charles Oakley called for his 6th.
John Starks having another good look, and this thing falls about 5 feet short as nobody appeared to hit his arm, and it has just been unbelievable, and people are probably wondering what in the world is Pat Riley doing staying with John Starks in this ballgame. It's fully something, you know, Pat will handle it very well, but when you have confidence in a player, a guy that was injured and fought so hard to come back, and a guy who has been your big fourth-quarter guy, you don't want to quit on him in any situation. So in Pat Riley's case, he's trying to show Johnny has the confidence, but it has just been an awful, awful night.
Also, Matty has no other choices because, obviously, he's lost confidence in Hubert Davis. He has to stay with Starks, but I think many of Starks' shots will be questioned. 15 seconds remaining in the fourth. The Rockets lead 86-78. Back after this from your local station.
This ESPN program is brought to you by Kodak, the color of your moment.
Toma la vida con el color que a ti te gusta. Nueva película Kodak Gold Plus.
Es el color de tu momento. Kodak.
Talvez você esteja procurando dentro de uma seleção ilimitada ou tentando encontrar algo que seja único em seu estilo. O último em tecnologia ou aquele corte perfeito. Qualquer que seja o seu lugar favorito para fazer compras, na hora de pagar, use o cartão preferido pela maioria das pessoas no mundo. Visa é o cartão.
Você está assistindo a ESPN, a líder mundial do esporte.
For the New York Knicks, it is game number 107, a season that began back on the 7th of October. And that tells the story. There will not be a 5th championship for Pat Riley. 15 seconds remaining. Rockets lead 86-78. The Houston Rockets on their way to their first ever NBA title. That's a three-pointer. 11 seconds to go. And the Rockets are now up by 5. And the foul was called on Harper, his 4th.
Well, Hubert Davis getting open out on that right wing and has really struggled in this series. Making that three-point shot. Talking about the woes of the New York Knicks, you got to give a lot of credit to these Houston Rockets. Akeem Olajuwon not only scoring, but moving the basketball, getting the ball open. And probably the biggest shot of this game was the three-pointer that Maxwell made.
John Starks finally able. Let's see, Starks now 2 of 18 from the field overall. Maxwell with 19 points. Time is running out. And again, the Knicks able to hit down the stretch. Harper with 23. It's a 4-point lead. 4 6/10 seconds remaining.
Foul is called on New York's 44, Hubert Davis.
And the foul on Hubert Davis.
Well, Derek Harper just rushing up the floor. Kenny Smith backing up, making sure no foul there. And it's amazing how quickly an 8-point lead can start to slip away. But if you go down and make your free throws, as Maxwell is doing right now, this one is over.
So Vernon Maxwell, 6 of 7 from the line. Making 7 of 8, 21 points. Rockets again by 6. Time running out on the New York Knicks. The Houston Rockets are the 1993-94 NBA champions. Sophie Tomjanovich celebrating with her husband, Rudy. And the city of Houston has won its first major championship. They have defeated the New York Knicks in 7. And eventually we will have the trophy presentation, and for the first time it will take place out on the court. That is if they do clear the court here at the Summit. Akeem Olajuwon will wear an NBA championship ring for the very first time. And it should be the hat trick for Akeem. Most valuable player during the celebration continues. And we'll be back with the trophy presentation here at the summit in just a moment.
Miller Genuine Draft, proud sponsor of the NBA, salutes the world champion Houston Rockets. The NBA and Miller Genuine Draft, making the world a very cool place.
Quando a Sharp nos convidou para testar a nova ViewCam, naturalmente nós aceitamos. Esta tela é uma excelente ideia, porque com ela você tem mais liberdade nas filmagens. Você pode apontar para qualquer lugar, capturando assim toda a ação. Também descobri que posso me filmar com facilidade. E com o playback instantâneo, você pode assistir o que gravou na viagem de volta para casa. A Sharp ViewCam é fácil de usar. I can, you can, we can, ViewCam.
Esta é a ESPN, trazendo para você o melhor dos esportes.
A wild scene here on the court at the summit in Houston. The celebration continuing. Sam Cassell being hugged by Coach Rudy Tomjanovich. The Houston Rockets defeating the New York Knicks with a solid performance. The final 90-84. Hakeem Olajuwon, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Matt, despite the fact that he picked up a 5th foul with much time remaining, he was able to hang in. And the Rockets got the big play from the backcourt right from the start. That's something they did not have earlier in the series.
Well, you got to be happy for that backcourt, Mark, because they were much maligned throughout this whole series. Derek Harper and John Starks were having their way with him. Derek Harper had a very solid ball game tonight. John Starks just never could get it going. But you got to be happy for Vernon Maxwell, Kenny Smith, and Sam Cassell, along with Hakeem Olajuwon. They just did an outstanding job.
And for a Western Conference team, the first NBA title since 1988. And they're set here in Houston, the Houston Chronicle reading champions. There it is, first major championship for a Houston franchise. In a moment, we will have the trophy presentation. We're trying to sort things out on the court. We'll be back with all the festivities right after these messages.
Perhaps it's because it's accepted everywhere, or the access to cash worldwide, the convenience of a Visa phone long-distance service, the free insurance coverage when renting a car, or the peace of mind that comes with the travel accident insurance. The reasons are many. So when it comes time to pay, use the card most people in the world prefer. Visa is the one.
have just won their first NBA championship. NBA Commissioner David Stern is about to present the Larry O'Brien Championship Trophy to Rockets owner Les Alexander, Coach Rudy Tomjanovich, and team captains Hakeem Olajuwon and Otis Thorpe. And now, Commissioner David Stern.
Two inspired teams showed America and the world about pride, hustle, and determination. But there can only be one champion. And congratulations to the 1994 NBA World Champion, Houston Rockets. Congratulations to Les Alexander, the entire Rockets organization, and to the city of Houston, Texas, or shall I say, Clutch City. Congratulations.
The trophy transfer in these close quarters could be difficult, but a successful handoff from Stern to Alexander. Rookie owner, Les, this might be the NBA's best rookie season since Magic Johnson in 1980.
This is for the fans of Houston, the fans of the Rockets all over the world. They deserve it and they got it. And the players have been unbelievable, and the coaches have been just as good. It's really fantastic for the city of Houston.
Rudy Tomjanovich, you have lived in Houston most of your adult life. What does this mean, not just to your team, but do you think to this city?
Well, Houston, you wanted this for so long, you finally got it. I'm proud to be a part of the team that got it for you. And when I say team, I mean it in the true sense of the word. These guys went out and did it together. We've got the best player in the league, but we've got a lot of great players. We couldn't have did it if we didn't do it together.
You play all year for home court advantage. Now the home team has won the last 20 straight seventh games. What did the summit mean tonight?
Well, it meant everything. These people have been so good to us. When we were down, they were down at the airport to pick us up. We love you!
You came back from down 0-2 going to Phoenix after blowing two big leads here. You came back here down 3-2 to the Knicks. I guess Clutch City applies.
Well, I'll tell you what. This was the most nerve-wracking playoffs I've ever seen in my life. Every game went down to the last quarter, last couple of plays. I'm just so happy to be on top.
This is your second full season as a head coach. How long could you last if they were all this taxing?
Not too long. Just let me say this. I thank the players for being such a great team. I've got to thank my assistant coaches, Carol, Bill, Larry, Robert, Jim, Joe, Coach Ed, Taylor. All right.
One last question, Rudy, before we hear from Hakeem Olajuwon, who was the regular season MVP and now I'm told is the unanimous MVP of this series. You used to say that you studied Pat Riley. You used to say you studied Pat Riley when you were a scout. You went against Riley in this series. A great job he has done with the Knicks. Some thoughts on your opposition in this series?
Well, we respected them. You know, that we're very similar, so we had to respect them because we're just like them. He's a great coach. It's an honor to just get a win, but it's not a personal thing ever. It was the Knicks against Houston.
Rudy, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Ahmad Rashad, who is with Hakeem Olajuwon. Ahmad.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob. A lot of people in Houston thought that for this team it was destiny, but it was more than that.
Coming up next on SportsCenter, O.J. Simpson back in court today. Already there's controversy.
Private conversations to be tape recorded or overheard are illegal in this state.
It all comes down to one. We'll preview Knicks-Rockets Game 7.
There's one game, it's a world championship, and then there are no regrets.
Even Yankee fans have hoops on the brain. The grass is not kind to the seeds. Another favorite falls at Wimbledon. Sports Center, taking it to new heights every day. Next.